Chapter 119. This place is so desolate, and I can't feel the slightest bit of vitality. Princess Mo Hen walked beside Xiao Han carefully with a nervous expression. However, her bright and beautiful eyes were filled with a lot of relief and happiness. That's right. If she didn't meet Xiao Han, this supreme man, when she was praying to the gods, then Princess Mo Hen would have been married to the eastern region without any suspense. Or perhaps she would have been killed by the fiendish Nangong Yi on the way. Thus, even though she was in the mysterious and dangerous great wilderness for Princess Mo Hen, it was definitely better than any other result or any other place. Moreover, the strongest man in her heart was by her side to protect her. Thus, Princess Mo Hen was not afraid. She was even more accepting of the great wilderness than Hu Qinghe and the other family members. Don't be afraid. My Da Shixiang is here. He is familiar with the great wilderness and will deal with all kinds of dangers. Xiao Han comforted Princess Mo Hen. At this time, Xiao Han saw that the ground under his feet was filled with crisscrossing cracks and dried-up ravines. It was a ghastly sight. Along the way there were more and more strange stones that were as black as iron and emitted cold light. A black stone that was half a zhang tall was erected in front of Xiao Han, blocking the way. Xiao Han did not take a detour. Instead, he stretched out his hand and pushed, wanting to push that black stone away. Unexpectedly, it didn't move an inch. Xiao Han's flesh had 1500 ding of pure strength. Could be said that with a flick of his finger he could shatter a huge stone. But now, when he pushed with all his strength, he actually couldn't move a black stone. What? How is this possible? Xiao Han was shocked. He immediately took a deep breath and pushed both of his palms out. All the muscles and bones in his body resonated and shone with golden light. Indistinctly, the sound of wind and thunder and tide surged up. All the muscles, bones, and skin were stretched out and the strength of his body was pushed to the extreme. This push. He actually only managed to move the black stone by 1.5 feet. This black stone is so heavy. Even if it's made of metal, it can't be so heavy. Xiao Han was getting more and more surprised. His whole body was flowing with light and with the support of true qi, he was able to lift the black stone. Unbelievable. It's at least 2000 ding. Xiao Han gasped. Alright, junior brother Xiao Han, stop playing around. These black stones are extremely heavy to begin with. Let's hurry, we're almost at the ancient village, Xiao Mingqiu urged. Then Xiao Mingqiu ordered the princess's servants to leave the carriages filled with top-grade true qi spiritual stones here. Don't bring it to the ancient village. After Xiao Han had lived in the ancient village for 1.5 years, he would come out to collect it. No human or other creatures would come here. It was isolated from the outside world, so there was no need to worry about these top-grade true qi spirit stones being lost or stolen. They continued on their way. 2 hours later, my true acupoint seems to have been sealed by some mysterious and terrifying power. Hu Qinghe screamed. I can't even use a single strand of Jinqi. My true acupoint has been sealed so tightly that it has lost connection with my soul. The other true qi realm guards also cried out in panic, feeling extremely fearful and uneasy. Eldest senior brother, my true acupoint has also been sealed. Xiao Han calmed down slightly. He told Xiao Mingqiu. Don't be afraid. The ancient village is very mysterious. It's normal for a low-level Jinqi realm cultivator to have their acupoints sealed in the ancient village. Many years ago, when I first came to the ancient village, my true acupoint was sealed just like all of you. Only after reaching the 5th level of Jinqi realm will I not be restricted and sealed, Xiao Mingqiu said with a smile. Xiao Han did not ask any more questions. They walked for another 2 hours. Finally, a village appeared in front of them. This was an ancient village. The houses were all made of stone. It was the kind of extremely heavy black stone, not ordinary rock. Even the ground of the village was paved with strange black stones. The stone houses in the ancient village were built in a simple and rough style, close to nature. At this time there were hundreds of villagers doing their own things. A large group of children were playing and chasing each other, running wildly in the village. They ran very fast like cheetahs. The adult men in the village were all very muscular. They were bare-chested, revealing smooth lines and round muscles that were full of explosive power. Their skin was slightly dark. They were doing very terrifying things. Xiao Han saw that most of the adult men were using sharpened black stones to dismember wild beasts. A few feet long wolf-like wild beast, a few feet long wan bird, and a few feet tall black bear. The men were dismembering the wild beasts like a butcher. They skillfully skinned, removed the meat and removed the bones. It was as if they were dissecting chickens and ducks. Those wild beasts and wan birds all emitted a violent and ancient aura. They were actually killed by the villagers. The women in the village were helping the men, cutting the meat of the wild beasts and yuan into small pieces and hanging them under the eaves of the houses to dry. The villagers were all wearing rough black clothes. They looked very thick, but it was hard to tell what kind of material they were made of. This village seemed to have existed for countless years. The villagers all had very sincere smiles on their faces. There was no trace of deceit or shrewdness in their eyes. Big Brother Mingchu. Big Brother Mingchu is back. Big Brother Mingchu brought a lot of people with him. Big Brother Mingchu, I hunted a mad rhinoceros yesterday. I kept its bones for Big Brother Mingchu to chisel them into bone arrows. Big Brother Mingchu, I also hunted a big bird. A group of children were running and laughing in the village. The oldest was not even 10 years old and the youngest was only 2 or 3 years old. When they saw Xiao Mingchu, they all ran out of the village to welcome him. Their attitude was very intimate. Xiao Han heard a 5 or 6 years old child wearing open crotch pants with a runny nose say that he hunted a mad rhinoceros yesterday. Xiao Han felt that it was a little unbelievable. Junior Martial Brother Xiao Han, the people of the ancient village are born with extraordinary talent. When they are young, they can become tyrannical hunters in the great wilderness and hunt wild beasts for food, Xiao Mingchu explained. At this moment, bang, 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 bang. Once those children came out of the village, Xiao Han and the others suddenly felt a hurricane rushing towards them. It was as if it was not a group of children rushing towards them, but a group of giant beasts. It was a terrifying feeling as if there were 10,000 horses galloping. The children trampled on the ground until it was broken into pieces and surrounded Xiao Mingchu. What? When these children were in the village, they felt that it was very normal. Why is it that once they left the village, each of their strength and speed, all of them increased explosively? Each of them has a wild vitality and vigorous blood qi. When they left the village, it was as if they were flying. In the blink of an eye, they flashed to eldest Martial Brother's side. Xiao Han completely did not understand the situation. Alright, stop fooling around. Go back and prepare some clothes. There are guests coming. Let the guests wear the village clothes. Go quickly. This time Big Brother Mingchu hunted a flame yuan. It's enough for you to eat. Xiao Mingchu laughed and scolded. Wow. The flame yuan is a very strong bird. We are still young and can't kill it. It tastes very delicious. Big Brother Mingchu, I want to eat the breast meat of the flame yuan. That is the most delicate essence. A 7 or 8-year-old child said while drooling. Go and take out the clothes first. Xiao Mingchu patted the child's head. A group of children rushed into the village and took out the black rough clothes that the villagers wore. Xiao Mingchu took a black robe and put it on. Then he said to Xiao Han and the others. Each of you take a piece of clothing and put it on. He hesitated for a moment. Xiao Han and the others began to pick out the clothes that suited them from the pile on the ground and put them on. A group of children blinked their curious eyes and looked at Xiao Han and the other uninvited guests. After changing their clothes, enter the village. You can stay in the ancient village for 2 years. The people of the ancient village are isolated from the rest of the world. However, they are kind, simple, and hospitable. As long as you do not deceive them, they will welcome you. There are many unused stone houses in the village. You can also stay here. Xiao Mingchu said to the princess and his family members. A group of children led the way in front. Xiao Mingchu's face was filled with the joy of returning home. He brought Xiao Han and the others into the village like a swarm of bees. Mingchu, there are guests? Mingchu, did you let them drink from the lake? Don't forget. Be careful. Mingchu, our ancient village is going to be lively again. The villagers all stood up to welcome them. Their attitude towards Xiao Mingchu was as intimate as family. A group of people finally entered the mysterious ancient village. At this moment, what's going on? Suddenly, Xiao Han felt that as soon as he entered the village, his whole body was covered by a very terrifying pressure. It was as if there was a mountain pressing down on his head. This kind of pressure was very terrifying. It was not just the pressure on his body. Even his blood vessels, heart, cells, brain, bones, liver, spleen, and stomach were all being squeezed crazily. Even his soul was being crushed and obliterated. Xiao Han instantly had a terrible feeling that his body was about to be crushed and explode. Bus, bus, bus. Just as Xiao Han was about to be unable to bear it, the indestructible golden body in his body surged. His golden bones shone brightly and bone texts appeared. Fortunately, Xiao Han was able to withstand the crazy pressure of the exploding body. However, he was still suffocating and could not move anymore. Phew. Xiao Han let out a turbid breath and looked up. Bang, bang, bang. With a few loud noises among the princess's family members, A few guards at the physical body realm and a few maids instantly exploded into blood mist. Not even their bones were left. A few black clothes fell to the ground. Mingqiu, you forgot to let them drink a liter of the lake water. A strong man stamped his feet and said, previously I told you to drink a liter of the lake water. Otherwise you will die immediately after entering the ancient village. It seems that some people are not obedient. Xiao Mingqiu said lazily. However, if they die, they die. They only have themselves to blame. Right, let me tell you now. The mysterious thing about this ancient village is that the gravity in the village is several times, even tens of times, or even hundreds of times stronger than other places. If you don't drink a liter of the lake water, most people will be instantly crushed and turned into ashes when they enter the ancient village. Alright, go with the villagers. They will help you settle down. What? If we didn't drink enough of the stinky lake water, we would be crushed now. So scary. The princess and her family members looked at each other in dismay. However, after drinking the stinky lake water, they were no different from usual in the village. They were not affected by the terrible gravity and could walk freely. Big sister, you are so beautiful. A 5 or 6-year-old little girl pulled Princess Mo Hen and said obediently. The villagers displayed an extremely kind and hospitable character. Soon, they brought Princess Mo Hen and her family members to an empty stone house and took out some cured meat to share with the guests. Princess Mo Hen kept looking back at Xiao Han, who was standing at the entrance of the village. Her eyes were filled with worry. However, she was pulled away by several women in the village. I can't move. Xiao Han stood in the same place and was unable to move. Xiao Han's tyrannical physical body prevented him from being crushed by the gravity. The vigorous vitality brought by the indestructible golden body protected Xiao Han's blood vessels, cells and organs from being crushed. However, this was already his limit. He couldn't move now. Junior brother Xiao Han, now you know why I brought you to the ancient village, right? Xiao Mingqiu leisurely walked over and stood beside Xiao Han. The gravity here will not only crush your flesh shell, but it will also squeeze your organs. Even your thoughts and soul will be tempered. If you can stay in this ancient village. Running and playing like those children meant that your physical body was already strong enough. When you left the ancient village, you would be like a giant beast. They possessed terrifying physical strength, inextinguishable vitality, speed, explosive power, and the ability to think. Even their souls would be sharp, flawless, and flawless. Your true acupoint has been sealed. However, this doesn't matter. The day you leave the ancient village, the seal will be removed. At that time, your physical body will be like a wild beast. When the time comes, let's see how many true acupoints you can open. I stayed in the ancient village for a year and a half. You don't have to deliberately cultivate, you just have to adapt to life here, Xiao Mingqiu said with a smile. Junior brother Xiao Han, you're standing at the entrance of the village. The gravity here is slightly weaker. The further you go into the village, the stronger the gravity will be. Get used to life here. Eldest senior brother? I can't even move right now. Xiao Han's face was filled with a bitter smile. He looked at the little brats running as if they were flying in the village and said in horror. Eldest senior brother, are these children born like this? Yes, they live in the ancient village and grow and rest under the terrifying gravity. Every child, once they leave the ancient village, will have the power to hunt and kill ordinary wild beasts alone. When they jump, they will be 100 meters high and can smash low-flying wan birds to death. Xiao Mingqiu laughed. Alright, junior brother Xiao Han, slowly get used to it. We'll get better. When I first came to the ancient village, I was almost the same as you. Look at me now. I don't drink the stinky lake water and can still move freely in the ancient village. Look, I can even jump. Xiao Mingqiu, without using his true qi, was able to display an astonishing amount of strength in front of Xiao Han. He was actually able to jump 10 meters high. This was done under the terrifying pressure. It was enough to raise eyebrows. Alright. Eldest senior brother, I will definitely not let you down. I will chase and jump in this ancient village like those children. Xiao Han gritted his teeth and said, work hard. The hex trial in 2 years is waiting for you. Xiao Mingqiu yawned and turned around weakly. Junior brother Xiao Han, take your time to get used to it. I'm going to sleep first. Xiao Mingqiu no longer said anything to Xiao Han. He turned around and walked towards a stone house. Hey, junior brother Xiao Han, it took me 3 years to get used to the life in the ancient village. What about you? Xiao Mingqiu's heart was also full of expectations and wishes. He hoped that Xiao Han could adapt to the life here day by day and become stronger. Calm down. Calm down. I must calm down. Xiao Han took a deep breath and the indestructible golden body in his body kept rushing. Rays of golden light appeared on the surface of his body, helping Xiao Han resist the pressure from the inside out. I have to take a step and see. Xiao Han tried to lift his right leg. 10 breaths later, finally, Xiao Han lifted his right leg 10 inches above the ground. However, this usually effortless action now consumed all of Xiao Han's strength. Bang! Xiao Han's leg landed heavily on the ground. His face was full of sweat. Adapt. Adapt. I must adapt to the life here. Xiao Han closed his eyes and began to visualize the first 50 movements of the indestructible golden body. At noon, it was time to eat. The village was filled with the smell of barbecued meat and the rich aroma of cooked animal milk. The villagers gathered in the big dam of the village, drinking big bowls of animal milk and eating big mouthfuls of animal meat. The women of the village were even dancing to liven up the atmosphere. Princess Mo Hen and her family had quickly integrated into this circle. They danced, laughed and chatted with the villagers. A group of wimpy children liked Princess Mo Hen very much. They pestered her and asked her to tell them stories. Xiao Han was still standing at the entrance of the village. He smelled the fragrance of meat and milk. His stomach growled and he swallowed his saliva. He also wanted to go over and eat heartily, but he really could not move. At this time, when the indestructible golden body was resisting the heavy pressure, it actually produced some power. Xiao Han's heart moved. His physical strength was quietly increasing. His bones and internal organs were also gradually turning golden. The bone text became clearer and more obvious. Xiao Han. Princess Mo Hen ran over, holding a jar of animal milk and a piece of roasted golden animal meat. Lunch here. 17. Xiao Han said with difficulty. I can't move my hand. Xiao Han raised his right hand with difficulty. However, after a few inches, it drooped down powerlessly. Princess Mo Hen's pretty face slightly blushed. She immediately approached Xiao Han and carefully brought the animal milk in the stone jar to Xiao Han's mouth. Oh! Xiao Han was also a little embarrassed. However, his will could not resist the fragrance of the animal milk. After drinking a jar of animal milk, Princess Mo Hen personally tore the animal meat into strips and fed them to Xiao Han's mouth. Her service was very thoughtful. Xiao Han, we drank the stinky lake water so we can move freely. Otherwise. Princess Mo Hen looked back and then whispered in Xiao Han's ear. I will go out and get you a few bags of stinky lake water. After you drink it, you will be like us. That won't do. Xiao Han flatly refused. 17. I want to adapt to the village life by myself. I will not drink the lake water. This is cultivation. Tempering the shell, internal organs and flesh. It can even temper my soul, which is a great help. 2 years later, I will become a demon hero. And? You can definitely do it. Princess Mo Hen clenched her fist. You are the strongest man that God gave to Mo Hen. Ah? What did you say? What God? Xiao Han was stunned. No. Mo Hen didn't say anything. Princess Mo Hen was so flustered that her ears turned red. She turned around and ran away. Several hours passed. The sky gradually darkened. Bang! Finally, Xiao Han could take a big step horizontally. I can finally move. Xiao Han wiped the sweat on his forehead and felt a little gratified in his heart. At night, Xiao Han could not lie down, so he stood there and closed his eyes to sleep. Early the next morning, Princess Mo Hen's face was red. She shyly came to feed Xiao Han the animal milk and mumbled. Xiao Han, this animal milk is said to be squeezed out from a female beast with Paishio bloodline. It is cooked with special herbs. Drinking it often can strengthen the muscles and bones and increase strength. At this time, a large group of children followed Xiao Mingqiu out of the village to hunt. Big brother Xiao Han, big brother Mingqiu said that you will play with us in the future. You have to work hard. A 4 or 5-year-old boy said to Xiao Han with a smile. Yes, I will. Xiao Han nodded his head heavily. Chapter 120. Just like this, Xiao Han stayed in the Great Desolation ancient village. He tried his best to blend into the villagers' lives. The gravity here was several times, 10 times or even 100 times stronger than the outside world. It pressed down on the human body, internal organs, blood vessels, cells and even the mind and soul. Xiao Mingqiu and the kids returned to the village from their hunt and brought back some huge beasts, such as a black luan that was over 100 feet long and a tiger-like beast that was over 20 feet long. Junior brother Xiao Han, how is it? Xiao Mingqiu walked over and asked Xiao Han, who was standing like a wooden stake. Eldest senior brother, today I can take a big step horizontally. Xiao Han took a leap and covered a distance of more than a meter. Not bad. Continue to work hard. Xiao Mingqiu smiled and patted Xiao Han's shoulder, almost causing him to fall. He staggered and stood up with difficulty. The villagers began to dismember their prey. Now that there were more than 1,000 people in the village who needed to open their mouths to eat, the villagers were even busier than usual. However, they were extremely simple and did not complain. Xiao Mingqiu sat on a stone stool, using a sharpened black stone to carve runes on a bone arrow. Streams of light flowed around the bone arrow, and the bone arrow emitted a dazzling golden light, looking extremely mystical. Who? Xiao Han let out a mouthful of turbid air. I didn't expect that under this kind of pressure, the indestructible golden body would not be destroyed. Instead, it gave birth to new energy and constantly nourished my bones, blood, and organs. It even strengthened every cell and thickened the walls of my blood vessels. It seems that eldest senior brother brought me to this ancient village to develop my body's potential to the greatest extent. Now, the indestructible golden body had become Xiao Han's reliance in this ancient village. It made him more eager than ever to study this strange technique. Big Brother Mingqiu. Why is there a golden light flashing on Big Brother Xiao Han's body? A few kids saw the golden light on Xiao Han's body and curiously ran over to ask Xiao Mingqiu. Xiao Mingqiu raised his lazy eyes and glanced at Xiao Han as he murmured to himself. Junior brother Xiao Han's body refining technique is truly tyrannical. During lunchtime, Princess Mo Hen brought roasted meat and beast milk to Xiao Han. She also filled a jar of fresh beast blood for Xiao Han to drink. Xiao Han, this is the blood of the Black One. It can strengthen one's foundation and is like a precious medicine. You should drink it. All right, Xiao Han thought to himself. He really did need some nourishment. The phoenix blood shone with golden light. The color was extremely gorgeous, translucent like a red agate, and it emitted a simple aura of the desolate plains. Princess Mo Hen helped Xiao Han drink the Wan blood. The moment the phoenix blood entered his mouth, Xiao Han felt a ball of fire rush up his throat. Xiao Han even felt the miserable cries of a Wan bursting out from his chest and abdomen. The Wan blood was quickly suppressed by his physical body and refined into beams of dazzling divine light, fusing into Xiao Han's bones, organs, and cells. My physical strength has increased by around 2 cauldrons? Xiao Han was both surprised and overjoyed as he licked his lips. 17 This phoenix blood is not bad. Give me some more. Princess Mo Hen covered her mouth and smiled. This is precious blood, the villagers all cherish it very much. They usually give it to the children to drink. Fortunately, those children like me very much. Wait a moment, I'll go get it for you. Princess Mo Hen also asked for a jar of Wan blood. He helped Xiao Han drink it. 10 days had passed. After continuously cultivating the indestructible golden body, coupled with the nourishment from the precious blood and beast milk, Xiao Han's physical strength had reached 2,500 cauldrons. Finally, Xiao Han could stay in the outer area of the ancient village where the pressure was smaller. He could walk normally. Eldest senior brother, this little brother has completely adapted to the pressure here. I don't feel that my steps are heavy and I can't walk anymore. Xiao Han walked while smiling at Xiao Mingqiu, who was sitting on a stone bench. Xiao Mingqiu raised his eyes and looked at Xiao Han as he said indifferently, just walking is not enough. You need to run at full speed. 1 month later. Bang, 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 bang. Xiao Han madly ran in circles at the entrance of the village. Trampling on the ground, he completely ignored the pressure in this area and ran as fast as lightning like a leopard or a wolf. Boom. Xiao Han not only ran but also jumped. He could jump close to 10 meters high from the ground and jump 10 meters away from the same spot. Alright, junior brother Xiao Han, enter the 20x gravity area. Xiao Mingqiu looked at Xiao Han's eyes and finally revealed some appreciation and gratification. He asked Xiao Han to move more than 10 meters from the entrance of the village. 20x gravity area. After entering the 20x gravity area, Xiao Han could not be arrogant anymore. He was suppressed by the gravity to the point that he was panting like a bull and did not move an inch. Just lifting a finger took a lot of effort. Moving half a meter would completely exhaust his physical strength. But this time Xiao Han had experience and was no longer flustered. He quietly cultivated the indestructible golden body and drank precious blood every day. In order to help Xiao Han adapt to the life in the ancient village, Xiao Mingqiu would go out to hunt every day. He would always bring back huge ferocious beasts and Wan corpses and squeeze out fresh precious blood for Xiao Han to drink. 3 months later. Xiao Han had completely adapted to the 20x gravity area. With a casual movement of his body, he could move a few meters forward. Thick golden clouds rolled and rolled, mixed with ancient bone inscriptions, making Xiao Han feel as if he was bathed in a miracle. The more he cultivated the indestructible golden body, the more profound it became. The strength of his flesh had broken through to 3,000 ding. Moreover, it was not only his flesh that had increased in strength. Even his bones, blood, organs, cells and blood vessels were many times stronger. Xiao Mingqiu looked at Xiao Han with more and more admiration. This kid is improving very fast. It has far exceeded my expectations. In fact, his performance is even more outstanding than when I first entered the ancient village. Can be said to be perfect. Xiao Mingqiu said in his heart. 40x gravity area. 6 months later. Xiao Han did not know how many bottles of precious blood he drank and how many ferocious beasts he had eaten. His flesh strength had increased to 4,000 ding and he conquered the 40x gravity area. 60x gravity area. 9 months later. Xiao Han's flesh strength had increased to 5,000 ding. 60x gravity area. 80x gravity area. 1 year and 2 months. Xiao Han's flesh strength had increased to 6,000 ding. 80x gravity area. 100x gravity area. 100x gravity area was the core area of the ancient village. The strongest pressure. 1.5 years. Xiao Han's flesh strength had increased to 7,000 ding. He had finally conquered the 100x gravity area. One day, bang, bang, bang. Xiao Han was in the center of the ancient village, chasing and playing with a group of kids. Xiao Han took a big step and jumped a few meters, grabbing the collar of a kid. He lifted him up with one hand. Xiao Hu, you can't run away, right? TSK Xiao Hu is quite heavy. He's only 7 years old but his body already weighs a few thousand jin. What a small savage beast. Big brother Xiao Han, you run so fast now. We can't even catch up to you. Xiao Hu smiled. Xiao Hu revealed his cute canine teeth. Xiao Mingqiu and the village chief were sitting on a stone bench. Mingqiu, little brother Xiao Han, has completely adapted to the life in the ancient village. It really wasn't easy. In this 1.5 years he suffered a lot and tempered his flesh shell day and night. Now he can finally play with the kids. The old village chief beamed with joy. Once little brother Xiao Han goes out, he will become the strongest hunter in the outer region of the great wilderness. He won't lose to the younger generation of those big tribes. It can be considered a small achievement. At least he's stronger than me back then. I used 3 years to adapt to the life in the ancient village, but little brother Xiao Han only used 1.5 years. Xiao Mingqiu was very pleased. But I can't let him be arrogant and complacent. This is to build the foundation. To make up for the inherent gap between him and those geniuses from the ancient countries. This year's Devil Hero Selection Competition is very cruel. It is said to be the most cruel in history. I hope little brother Xiao Han can survive. Yes. Those young people from the ancient countries are no different from wild beasts. Their blood qi is overflowing and they can destroy big luans with their bare hands. They can also cultivate true qi. Our ancient village seems to be cursed. The villagers can't open their true meridians. We can only find the ancestral land. Maybe we can solve this problem. The outside world is very exciting. I also want the children in the village to go out and explore. But the premise is that we can find a way for the villagers to open their true meridians and cultivate true qi. Old village chief Mingqiu will do his best. I will help the ancient villagers find the ancestral land. Maybe it is in the depths of the great wilderness. When Mingqiu's strength is enough, I will go to the depths of the great wilderness. Xiao Mingqiu said very seriously. In the future, when little brother Xiao Han becomes stronger, he will also have the obligation to help the ancient villagers find the ancestral land. After all, he has received the kindness of the ancient villagers. I'm counting on you. The old village chief's smile was very simple. Village chief, you are too polite. Xiao Mingqiu quickly said. Big brother, old village chief. Xiao Han played with the children for a while and then sat down on the stone bench. Little brother Xiao Han, you can now go hunting with Mingqiu and the children. Your flesh shell is already strong enough and does not lose to the villagers of our ancient village. Moreover, you have cultivated true qi. You can easily hunt fierce luans. The old village chief smiled and patted Xiao Han's shoulder. His attitude was like a happy conversation between an elder and a junior. After living in the ancient village for a year and a half, Xiao Han had already established a close relationship with everyone in the village. The simplicity and kindness of the ancient villagers touched Xiao Han. Big brother, I will go hunting with you tomorrow, Xiao Han said with great interest. For the past year and a half, I am indebted to the care of the ancient villagers. I have not been able to repay them. From tomorrow onwards, I am willing to hunt every day and hunt all kinds of wild beasts for the ancient villagers. Huh? Xiao Mingqiu looked at Xiao Han and smiled. You are still lacking a bit. Little brother Xiao Han, try jumping. Yes, big brother. Xiao Han stood up and tried his best to jump high and long. Now Xiao Han could jump 10 feet high and 10 feet far. Junior brother Xiao Han, your pure physical strength has already reached 7,000 cauldrons. However, you are still unable to fully unleash 7,000 cauldrons of strength under 100 times the normal pressure. You still need to temper yourself for a while. Once you are able to unleash 7,000 cauldrons of strength under 100 times the normal pressure, I will bring you out for a hunt and give you a final tempering. This year's Hex Hero trial will begin in half a year. Make the best use of your time. All right. Big brother, thank you and the ancient villagers for your guidance in the past year and a half. Now I am no longer afraid of the Hex Hero trial. I am even looking forward to the competition. I also want to see the younger generation of those ancient countries and powerful tribes. Chapter 121. It should be known that under such a huge pressure, it was extremely difficult to produce a trace of new strength. Xiao Han relied on the indestructible golden body, a large amount of precious blood beast milk, and his unyielding will to increase the strength of his flesh shell to 7,000 ding. This was already not a small matter and was enough to move people. Even Xiao Mingqiu was full of praise for Xiao Han. Currently, Xiao Han was in the 100 times gravity zone and could not display his full strength to his heart's content. 7,000 ding. Under the interference of the gravity, Xiao Han could display about 5,000 ding of strength. He was still lacking a trace of maturity. He needed to sharpen and improve further. For the next few days, Xiao Han would play and chase with the little kids, and he would tirelessly jump high and long jump high. Finally, after a month, 7,000 ding of strength. Eldest senior brother, I can finally display the maximum strength of my flesh shell under the heavy pressure. Xiao Han was overjoyed. Good. Junior brother Xiao Han, today I will bring you out to hunt. You have stayed in the ancient village for a year and 7 months and have never left. Today I will bring you out. Xiao Mingqiu was also a little excited. Junior brother Xiao Han, listen carefully. When we get out of the village, something magical will happen to you. I hope you will not panic and stay calm. You must stay calm. Eldest senior brother, will such a miraculous thing happen to me? What is it? Xiao Han asked suspiciously. Let's go. You will know when we get out. Xiao Mingqiu deliberately smiled mysteriously. Let's go. Brother Xiao Han, let's go out to hunt. Hunting is a very fun game. A group of kids clustered around Xiao Han and walked out of the village like a swarm of bees. Xiao Han, I will also go with you. Princess Mo Hen also quickly caught up. She tidied up the hair on her temples and smiled sweetly. It has been more than a year. I have never left the village. Hu Qinghe and the others also followed closely behind. Xiao Mingqiu seemed to be in a very good mood today. He laughed heartily and said, All right, let's go out and play. Junior brother Xiao Han, you are responsible for hunting a big luan alone today, ha ha ha. All right. Eldest senior brother, watch out. My whole body is full of power now. Xiao Han laughed. Brother Xiao Han, let's race and see who can run out of the village first. Xiao Hu smiled mischievously. They rushed to the village entrance first. Little brat. Xiao Han exerted strength in his legs and leaped towards the entrance of the village. With a few leaps, Xiao Han was the first to charge out of the village, ahead of all the other brats. However, just as Xiao Han rushed out of the village, Hong, the air around them trembled. Xiao Han's body was sent flying hundreds of feet away. Wherever it passed, the hurricane caused the ground to crack and shatter. Countless black rocks were blown away and smashed into the ground. What? Young hero Xiao Han left the village. His blood energy surged and his speed and strength increased by at least dozens of times. He disappeared in a flash. What is going on? Hu Qinghe was shocked. Ha ha. Let's go out together. Xiao Mingqiu laughed proudly. He led the group out of the village. At this time Xiao Han, what? All of a sudden Xiao Han felt that the strength of his body had increased by 100-fold from 7,000 cauldrons. From 700 ding to 700,000 ding. Every cell in his body was filled with the mighty power of a demon god. Every single strand of his hair was filled with the purest power. His bones were golden and his internal organs were as hard as metal and could not be destroyed. As his blood flowed, a heavy hammering sound could be heard. Xiao Han stood in his original position, his hair fluttering despite the lack of wind. A terrifying invisible force spread out, sweeping in all directions, sending the black boulders flying one after another. Crackling sounds could be heard. Crack. Xiao Han clenched his fists and stepped forward with his right foot. Immediately, a gust of air burst out from his feet and revolved around his feet. The air gathered and did not dissipate. It rotated faster and faster. In an instant, it enveloped his entire body and formed a small tornado. Bang, 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 bang. As Xiao Han strode forward, small tornadoes appeared one after another. These were formed by pure strength and the ground was torn apart. Some of the smaller black stones were directly blown to ashes. Xiao Han felt that he was a wild beast of the great wilderness. He had the power to topple mountains and overturn the seas, to suppress the heavens, to break through the void, to break through reality and obtain formless power. Brr. Xiao Han let out a loud roar, and a black rock a few meters in front of him that was half a zhang tall started to make cracking sounds. Because of Xiao Han's roar, numerous cracks started to appear on the rock. Boom. Xiao Han punched out. The strength of hundreds of thousands ding exploded. This punch was enough to shake a mountain and break the air in a radius of tens of zhang. The next moment, Xiao Han's feet kicked off and he jumped hundreds of zhang high in an instant. When he landed on the ground, there was a loud poochie sound. Hundreds of shocking cracks appeared on the black ground in a radius of tens of zhang. Smoke and dust filled the air. Smoke rose everywhere. Princess Mo Hen, Hu Qinghe, and the others were dumbfounded by what they saw. Was this still a human? They were truly savage beasts in human form. Ah. Junior brother Xiao Han, do you understand what I just said? Once you leave the village, miraculous things will definitely happen to you. You must not panic or get excited. Calm down, calm down. Xiao Mingqiu quickly walked up from behind. A group of brats followed him. Brother Xiao Han, you're so strong. Eldest senior brother, my physical strength has increased to 700,000 cauldrons, 100-fold increase. 100 times. Xiao Han's voice trembled. He couldn't believe what was happening to him. Yes, I know. Xiao Mingqiu walked over and hugged Xiao Han's shoulders. It's very simple. Junior brother Xiao Han, under the 100-fold gravity of the ancient village, you are still able to unleash 7,000 cauldrons of strength. In that case, if you leave the ancient village and return to a normal environment, your strength, speed, the toughness of your flesh shell, your organs, and even every cell in your body will be greatly enhanced. Everything had increased by 100-fold. Everyone in the village is in the same situation as you. However, your tempering in the ancient village has already reached the limit. You are already able to completely adapt to the 100-fold gravity. Therefore, if you continue to stay in the ancient village to cultivate, the effect will be minimal. The strength of your flesh shell can reach a few 100,000 cauldrons, which is comparable to the younger generation of those ancient desolate countries and mysterious clans in the depths of the great wilderness. It will be a contest of strength. Xiao Han immediately understood Xiao Mingqiu's words. Under the 100-fold gravity of the ancient village, he could unleash 7,000 cauldrons of strength. If he were to leave the ancient village and return to a normal environment, the 100-fold gravity would directly increase his strength. It would directly transform into a sharp increase in strength. After more than a year of bitter training in the ancient village without a moment of relaxation, Xiao Han had obtained an unimaginable achievement. A physical strength of 700,000 cauldrons. This was too terrifying. Xiao Han couldn't help but be excited. His body trembled and he clenched his fists tightly. Eldest senior brother, I really didn't expect that I would improve so quickly. So huge. Every inch of my flesh is now filled with the strength to tear mountains and rivers. In the great wilderness, there are some yuan birds and giant beasts with ancient bloodlines. They don't know how to cultivate. It's impossible for them to cultivate true qi, but their physical strength is extremely terrifying. It can easily reach hundreds of thousands cauldrons, and their skin and flesh are indestructible. Now your condition. Just like those great phoenixes and vicious beasts, Xiao Mingqiu said concisely. It's not an exaggeration to say that you are a ferocious beast in human form. Xiao Han's throat was choked and he couldn't say anything. Suddenly Xiao Mingqiu changed the topic. His expression and tone became extremely serious. Junior brother Xiao Han. N? Xiao Mingqiu's words immediately awakened Xiao Han from his crazy and narcissistic state. Junior brother Xiao Han, you are very proud right now, right? But I want to tell you that your current condition is nothing more than a good foundation. It's not worth being complacent, Xiao Mingqiu said in a serious tone. Junior brother Xiao Han, you probably think that your physical strength of 700,000 cauldrons is enough to fight against experts who have opened hundreds of true acupoints, right? You probably think that you are invincible, right? I don't dare. Xiao Han's expression returned to normal as he asked for guidance. Eldest senior brother, I don't dare to be arrogant. I hope eldest senior brother can tell me about my current battle strength. And? Xiao Mingqiu nodded slightly. Junior brother Xiao Han, junior brother Fang Ling probably told you that in the true qi realm, every true acupoint that is opened, the amount of true qi poured into each true acupoint is about 1,000 cauldrons of strength, right? Yes, senior brother Fang Ling said so. Xiao Han quickly said. Junior brother Xiao Han, true qi and physical strength must not be confused. Xiao Mingqiu said in a serious tone. In the true qi realm, no one would be stupid enough to directly transform true qi into pure strength to fight against others. True qi cultivation methods can greatly increase strength and attack speed. There are some true qi cultivation methods that, with just a little bit of practice, cannot be fought against with pure strength. Xiao Han nodded. Back then, when he fought against the clone of the golden armored devil, he used Dragon's Fury and increased his strength, but in the end he was still unable to destroy the clone. This did not mean that the pure power of the golden armored monster's avatar was much stronger than the power of Xiao Han's dragon face wrath. Rather, it meant that the clone's true qi cultivation method was very profound and would not be destroyed by Xiao Han's pure strength. That's right, eldest senior brother, I understand now. The ferocious beasts of the great wilderness are powerful, easily hundreds of thousands of cauldrons of strength, but they can still be killed by human true qi realm martial artists. That is because the human true qi realm cultivates the true qi cultivation method. The killing power of the true qi cultivation method far surpasses pure strength. Xiao Han blurted out. Xiao Mingqiu nodded in satisfaction. Junior brother Xiao Han, it is good that you understand. In short, the strength of the flesh shell does not mean that the absolute battle strength is strong. It only means that the foundation is extremely good. For example, the Great Sun Crown Prince's unique cultivation method, the Great Sun Heart Sutra. You will not be able to fight against it with pure strength. That cultivation method is blessed by the gods and can sweep through the world. Also, in the true qi realm, there are some realms that you are not clear about. Let me explain them to you now. Xiao Mingqiu went on and on. You should know how many true acupoints are opened at the 5th level of true qi, right? Eldest senior brother, I know this. Opening 41 to 50 acupoints is the 5th level of true qi. Senior brother Dongfang Qin has opened 50 acupoints and senior brother Fang Ling has opened 48 true acupoints. Both belong to the 5th level of true qi realm. Xiao Han immediately answered. Xiao Mingqiu flicked his fingers. Junior brother Xiao Han, I will not tell you too much. The first 5 levels of true qi realm are nothing. But the 6th level of true qi realm is a huge chasm. For example, junior brother Dongfang and junior brother Fang Ling are both at the peak of the 5th level, but it is extremely difficult for them to cross this chasm and enter the 6th level of true qi realm. Thus, their rankings on the monster hero ranking are not high. Once the 51st true acupoint is opened and you enter the 6th level of true qi, your life level will undergo an earth-shattering transformation. The 6th level of true qi is also known as the expanded acupoint realm. As the name suggests, after reaching the 6th level of true qi, the capacity of the true acupoints in the body can be expanded by 10 times, dozens of times, and the strongest can expand their acupoints up to 100 times. Thus, after the expansion of acupoints, the true qi in the true acupoints of the body will be equivalent to hundreds of thousands or even millions of ding of force. Coupled with the cultivation of true qi divine arts, the battle strength that can be displayed will not be as simple as a few millions of ding of pure force. It can easily destroy an area and move the earth. In short, it is extremely easy for a martial artist at the 6th level of true qi to defeat someone below the 5th level of true qi. Junior brother Xiao Han, Xiao Mingqiu said sincerely, the martial way is broad and profound and it is endless. Do not be complacent and arrogant. The 6th level of true qi is the expanded acupoint realm. The 7th level of true qi is the talisman realm. For the current you, these are still too far away. You still need to continue cultivating. After many fortuitous encounters, you will be able to become a famous person in this world. Which of the younger generation of those mysterious ancient countries and powerful tribes does not have a physical body of hundreds of thousands or millions of ding? With your current physical strength, it is not enough to contend against junior brother Fang Ling's sword qi immortal lotus and junior brother Dongfang Qin's devil bird divine art. Yes, I understand. The more Xiao Han listened, the more ashamed he became. He blushed for his complacency just now. Alright, junior brother Xiao Han, no matter what, your current foundation is extremely good. Your physical body is as strong as a fierce beast. Breaking through the acupoints will be much easier than before. Go hunt. Hunt some Wuan and giant beasts with your own hands. Xiao Mingqiu laughed. Go. You can hunt most of the strange beasts in the periphery of the Great Desolate. P.S. Today is the weekend. I accompanied my wife during the day and went shopping. Riding was very boring and took up almost all of my daily time. I usually have no time to accompany my wife, but on the weekend, I have to accompany her no matter what. Thus, I only have 2 chapters today. I will not forget to add more chapters. It is written in black and white, I can't deny it. Please rest assured. The subsequent plot will become more and more exciting. Xiao Han's foundation is very solid now, isn't it? Chapter 122. After listening to Xiao Ming's warning, Xiao Han's impetuous state of mind finally calmed down. He deeply understood that there was no limit to the path of martial arts. The strong were as many as the trees in the forest. He was still too young and inexperienced. At best, he had built a solid foundation. He could not be complacent. He could not stop cultivating. Otherwise, before he climbed to the peak, he would die prematurely. Let's go, junior brother Xiao Han. Let's go hunting. Xiao Mingqiu took Xiao Han and walked towards the great wilderness outside the village. A group of wimpy kids followed behind. After leaving the ancient village, the strength and speed of the children's flesh shell increased by 100 times. They were like a group of small wild beasts coming out of their nest. Princess Mo Hen, Hu Qinghe, and the other family members followed behind. My old flesh shell and all the functions of my body have actually improved. Hu Qinghe was surprised. Although Princess Mo Hen and the others drank a liter of stinky lake water before entering the ancient village and were not affected by the mysterious pressure of the village, they had lived in the ancient village for more than a year. Now that they came out, the quality of their flesh shell had also improved. It was just that it was far from being as terrifying as Xiao Han. Leaving the village, phew, I can feel the true meridians again. As they walked, Xiao Han's soul finally connected with the true meridians in his body. They could not be separated. 14 true meridians were beating violently, filled with vitality. Each true meridian was filled with true qi like a great river. Moreover, the 15th true meridian was also showing signs of exploding. Rays of divine light flowed on the surface of Xiao Han's body, making him shine brightly. The 100 dried-up demon veins on the demon monarch's palm tattoo on his left arm had already been restored and filled with a glass-like pure demon power. The 2 demon emperor crystals were shining brightly. My strength and vitality have reached the highest peak in history. If I want to break through my meridians now, I wonder how many true meridians I can break through at one time? Can my realm directly soar to the 3rd level of true qi? Xiao Han was simply restless. In this 1 year's time, there was indeed a qualitative breakthrough. Xiao Han knew that if he hadn't met his eldest martial brother, he would have been hunted down and killed by countless Taoist heroes. Even if he was lucky enough to survive, he wouldn't have achieved what he had today. Junior brother Xiao Han, don't try to break through your meridians for the time being. Let's go hunting today. Xiao Mingqiu smiled when he saw Xiao Han's eyes shining with a strange light. There are still a few months left for you. Don't be impatient. I understand. Xiao Han also smiled. Everyone stepped out of this desolate area without any traces of humans or beasts. Returning to the great wilderness. Gua, gua, there were all kinds of birds flying across the azure sky. Dong dong dong. Dong dong dong. Brr, brr. Behind the primitive forest and the stone mountain, the roars of mutated beasts could be heard from the swamp. Junior brother Xiao Han, take the children and go hunting. I won't make a move today. I'll take a nap first. Ah. Xiao Mingqiu's body moved slightly and he leaped onto an ancient tree that was hundreds of meters tall. Lying on the branch of a tree, he took out a sharpened black stone and carved runes on the bone arrow. He was happy to be idle. Princess Mo Hen, Hu Qinghe, and the other family members did not dare to go far in the Great Desolate. They did not have the ability to hunt. They all sat under the shade of the trees and enjoyed the scenery. Ah, little tiger, leopard, let's go hunting. Xiao Han smiled and called out to the children. Let's go. Big brother Xiao Han. Why don't we compete and see who can catch more prey today? The children suggested. Okay. Xiao Han naturally would not refuse even though it was his first time hunting. But he did not want to lose to the children. Boom. Although the children were young, they were all outstanding hunters in this great desolate area. They dispersed in a hubbub and went to find suitable prey for themselves. With Xiao Mingqiu overseeing, there was naturally no need to worry about the children encountering danger. Xiao Han simply let go of his hands and feet and walked forward step by step. His ears pricked up and he used his hearing to the limit to listen to the strange sounds in all directions. And in the east side of the forest, there was the sound of trees being crushed and broken. It seemed like there was some big fellow causing trouble there. I will go and take a look first. Xiao Han smiled and his body swayed. With a flash of a shadow, Xiao Han had already shot out hundreds of feet, directly breaking into the deep forest. As expected, Xiao Han saw a gigantic creature. It was a man-bear. It was 5 to 6 zhang tall and its whole body was pitch black. Its fur was like needles and its eyes were fierce. There was a golden horn on its head that was surrounded by lightning. It was hugging a huge tree and shaking it. There was a huge bird's nest on the tree. It was unknown what kind of giant yuan it belonged to. It seemed that the man-bear wanted to take advantage of the giant yuan's absence to steal the bird's eggs and feast on them. Hehehe. This is this young master's first prey. Tonight I will eat bear paw. When Xiao Han saw the man-bear, all the strength in his body exploded. A gust of wind blew past and broke all the young trees in the forest. Die. Xiao Han was like a wild beast and fiercely pounced towards the man-bear, wanting to kill and tear it apart. Ho! The bearman cried out in fear. His fierce eyes were filled with panic and fear. He had actually run away. Bang, 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 bang. The man-bear spread its legs and ran out of the forest. It was unknown how many ancient trees were broken and it was a complete mess. Xiao Han chased closely. With a jump he could jump hundreds of zhang away. Just like the man-bear, his body casually broke the huge trees. The man and the bear began to chase. It was as if two fierce beasts were fighting each other. Rushing out of the forest, the man-bear's speed was extremely fast. The bear's body tore through the air and formed a wave of qi. It ran for its life. It seemed to have a premonition of the human strength and fierceness. It actually did not dare to turn back. Don't run. Xiao Han chased anxiously. However, he did not release his true qi. He wanted to use pure physical strength to hunt. After all, when he was competing with brats did not know how to use true qi. If Xiao Han relied on true qi to catch up to and kill his prey, it would be too shameful. The man-bear madly ran to a 10,000 meters tall stone mountain. With a leap, it actually scuttled into a pitch-black cave at the bottom of the mountain. Then it quickly pushed a huge rock and blocked the cave entrance. Damn it! Xiao Han stopped his footsteps. In an instant, boom! Xiao Han's body flashed. With his body of flesh and blood, he smashed into the stone mountain. In an instant, ka. The mountain was smashed open with numerous cracks. It was a shocking sight. However, the man-bear still hid in the cave. Could not come out anymore. Xiao Han cursed his bad luck. He shook off the stone fragments from his hair and went around the stone mountain. A few hundred zhang away, a huge golden pangolin appeared in Xiao Han's vision. The pangolin was 10 zhang long. Its entire body glowed with a golden light. Its eyes were cold as it looked back at Xiao Han. They stared at each other. The pangolin is not bad either. Xiao Han's 2 legs stepped on the ground. His body turned into a blur as he directly rushed over. A tornado rose into the sky. Gigi, the pangolin let out a cry of shock. Its 2 claws dug into the ground. In an instant, it actually dug a hole and dived into it. Peng! Xiao Han jumped a few times and landed on the ground. A large part of the ground was shattered. However, the pangolin had already shrunk and dived deep into the ground. It can't be? Is hunting so hard? Xiao Han was speechless. Gua gua gua. A bird's cry came from above Xiao Han. He looked up. In the sky there were dozens of huge birds circling. Each of these huge birds was as big as a manor. They covered the sky and cast a terrifying shadow on the ground. They were similar to eagles. Their bodies were covered with black scales. The scales were dense as if they were made of molten iron. They shone with a cold metallic luster. Their ferocious aura was shocking. Come down. Xiao Han licked his lips. He raised his head and provocatively hooked his finger. Those huge eagles kept circling but did not dare to fly low. At this moment, one of the huge eagles finally could not hold back. It began to dive down, trying to get close to Xiao Han and test him. 200 zhang above the ground. 150 zhang above the ground. 100 zhang above the ground. Die for me. Xiao Han leaped up and shot up into the sky like an arrow piercing through the clouds. The air suddenly exploded. It was like shooting a mountain cannon. Gua. The huge eagle was hit by the violent airflow caused by Xiao Han's flight. All the scales on its body contracted. It let out a miserable cry. Its body instantly rose 10 zhang high in the sky, causing Xiao Han's attack to miss. Your reaction is really fast. Xiao Han waved his fist in the air, but in the end he could not hit the huge eagle. He angrily fell down, smashing the ground. Gua gua gua, a few of the huge eagles flew down and circled provocatively. Xiao Han's embarrassment turned into anger. He directly picked up a 1,000-gene boulder from the ground and used all his strength to throw it upwards. This time it was like a meteorite falling from the sky. With a pew sound, it smashed into one of the huge eagles in the sky. Scales flew everywhere and the eagle's blood flowed. Its eyes were filled with ferocity. With a flap of its wings, the boulder was smashed into powder. Although Xiao Han's strength was great, after throwing the boulder for 100 zhang, its strength was weakened. It was not enough to smash down a huge eagle. It seems that these ferocious birds and wild beasts can feel my strength. Therefore they are very afraid of me. When they smelled my aura, they fled without a trace. Xiao Han calmed down. If this is the case, it will be very difficult for me to hunt prey. I'm afraid I will lose to the children. Xiao Han sat cross-legged on the ground and thought. No, I cannot act recklessly. I have to think of a way. Xiao Han's eyeballs turned. Suddenly. That's right. I will block all the functions of my body. A light flashed in Xiao Han's mind. With a thought, he activated the tortoise breathing technique. In the next moment, Xiao Han's ferocious aura was sealed. The sound of metal clanging when the blood surged was sealed. Even the strong smell emitted from his cells was sealed. This caused Xiao Han's vitality to become ordinary, like an ordinary person. After putting on the disguise, Xiao Han swaggered around the wasteland. Gua, a ferocious bird's cry came from above his head. Only to see, a huge ferocious bird that was over 100 zhang long, with beautiful wings and fiery light around its body, circled above Xiao Han's head, letting out a bloodthirsty and cruel cry. In the next moment, Gua, the ferocious bird screeched and began to dive down. Its claws were like hooks, suffused with a cold and deathly luster. It wanted to catch Xiao Han and eat him like a snack. This is my first prey. When the ferocious bird was only 10 zhang away from him, Xiao Han moved. Boom. The aura in his body suddenly broke through the tortoise breathing technique seal. The ferocious power surged like a tide, rolling like thunder. The river water beat against the shore, the ground was flattened and smoke rose everywhere. Bang! Xiao Han's body was covered in golden light. He jumped up and punched. A tornado rushed out and directly hit the belly of the ferocious bird. The almost invincible power smashed a huge hole on the belly of the ferocious bird. Cracks spread out like a spider web. Po, 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 po. The ferocious bird hovered in the air. Its huge body kept twitching and spasming. Its body was like a firecracker exploding. The blood of the bird was flowing wildly, and its vitality was extinguished. He had killed a giant luan with just the strength of his flesh shell. Ah! I finally killed my first prey. It's actually a luan. I heard from senior brother that luan is harder to kill than the ferocious beasts on the ground. Xiao Han put the corpse of the luan on the ground and rolled his eyes. This method is not bad. Let's see how many prey I can catch today. Xiao Mingchu lazily and leisurely sat on the branch of an ancient tree. His legs swayed as he opened his soft eyes and smiled. This kid is really a natural hunter. He can actually hide his strength and aura. Interesting. It's getting more and more interesting. The beautiful pure mountain range was like a poem or a painting. The profound pure palace. The sect master of the pure sect was sitting in the pavilion reading a book. Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling were standing in the pavilion. Sect master, it's been almost 2 years. I wonder where junior brother Xiao Han is. Dong Fangqin said worriedly. The sect master slowly put down the book in his hand and looked far away. He's still alive. However, I don't know his situation at the moment. He seems to have escaped far away from the southern region. In a few months, this year's Devil Hero Trial competition will begin. Sect Master, junior brother Xiao Han is only 17 years old this year. If he gives up this year's Devil Hero Trial competition, he can still participate in the next Devil Hero Trial competition at the age of 22. Before the age of 30 he can participate. It doesn't have to be this year. Fang Ling suddenly said. The sect master looked at Fang Ling. Sect master, the mortality rate of this year's Devil Hero Trial competition is very high. It's called the most terrifying one in history. Fang Ling frowned deeply. I heard that the ancient countries in the depths of the great wilderness and those hidden powerful tribes have produced a group of young geniuses in recent years. They want to rise and will participate in this year's Devil Hero Challenge competition. Oh? Those guys in the depths of the great wilderness. Dong Fangqin's pupils shrank and said cautiously. When I participated in the Devil Hero Trial competition, I also met some young people from the great wilderness. They are extremely terrifying, cruel and perverted. They drank the precious blood of ancient species and grew up with countless ferocious birds and beasts. They were born with a barbaric and noble bloodline. When they were young they could tear a ferocious dragon with their bare hands. Sect Master, if you let junior brother Xiaohan compete with these perverted fellows, I'm afraid. The Sect Master waved his hand. Xiaohan has no way out. Now the entire southern region and even the devil heroes of other regions are hunting for him. Rumor has it that he once sneaked into the wedding procession of the Fire Beacon Empire's emperor. At the border of the Blazing Sun Empire, he encountered another demon emperor and seemed to have a fortuitous encounter. He is now a hot prey. I don't know if he has improved. This? Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling exchanged glances and saw the deep worry in each other's eyes. Chapter 123. Xiaohan had found his own way of hunting that was effective and could be done once and for all. He was like the most cunning and terrifying hunter. He used the tortoise-breathing style to seal his power, attracting the attacks of all kinds of ferocious beasts and great Luan in the great wilderness, and then counterattacking. In just a few hours Xiaohan had killed 4 great Luan, 6 giant eagles, 2 mad rhinoceroses, 3 striped tigers, 5 giant wolves and 2 golden crocodiles. Xiaohan carried these preys to a wasteland and met up with the kids. The preys that were piled up like a mountain emitted a bitter aura of the great wilderness, illustrating their ferocity and tyranny when they were alive. All the preys that the kids had hunted could not even compare to half of what Xiaohan had hunted. Big brother Xiaohan, you are so powerful. The kids looked at Xiaohan with eyes full of worship. Big brother Xiaohan, this is your first time hunting and you have returned with great rewards. You have hunted so many ferocious birds and giant beasts, you are as powerful as big brother Mingqiu. In the future big brother Xiaohan will hunt for the ancient village every day. Xiaohan laughed with satisfaction. Princess Mo Hen and the others also ran over to congratulate him. At this moment, Xiao Mingqiu, who was lying lazily on the towering ancient tree, slightly moved his eyes, and his right ear trembled a few times. His mouth curled into a faint smile as he muttered to himself. Next, it seems like something is going to happen. Junior brother Xiaohan, I have something to do and will leave first. You guys wait here for me for a while. Men, let's do this. Junior brother Xiaohan, remember to protect the children. After saying this, Xiao Mingqiu leaped and disappeared in the sky with a few flashes. Eldest senior brother? Xiaohan looked up in confusion. He then said to the kids, let's play here for a while. He thought, what is eldest senior brother trying to do? Dozens of miles away. Dozens of giant bulls with 4 burning hooves came from the depths of the great wilderness. This was a giant bull with immemorial bloodline, the flame bull. An adult flame bull was 4 zhang long and 1 zhang above the ground. The bull's eyes shot out golden light, and its whole body was surrounded by colorful lights, looking extremely magical. They were tamed as mounts by some powerful tribes in the great wilderness. In the great wilderness, tribes that had flame bulls as mounts ruled over a territory and had hundreds of millions of people supporting them. They were not to be trifled with. At this moment, more than 10 barbarians with monstrous blood chi were riding these flaming bulls as they galloped as fast as lightning. These barbarians were wrapped in beast skins, and their appearances were extremely rough. Their bodies were like mountains and they were more than 2 meters tall. Their auras were powerful and terrifying, and with just a slight glare hundreds of beasts would tremble. True chi was still flowing on the surface of their bodies, and they were sparkling, adding to their divine might. The one riding in front of the barbarians was a 15 or 16-year-old youth. He was extremely handsome with fair skin and exuberant chi and blood. His long black hair casually draped over his shoulders, and his eyes sparkled like gems. His expression was cold and arrogant. His eyes flickered with wildness and cruelty as well as an innate arrogance. His temperament was like that of an untamable beast. Qin Jiang is the youngest and bravest warrior in our Dehua tribe, and one of the most outstanding sons of the tribe leader. At the age of 16 he could already hunt a flood dragon by himself. His future was limitless. It is very likely that he will lead the Dehua tribe to glory in the future. I'm really looking forward to it. A barbarian looked at the back of the young man who was riding on the bull, and his eyes were filled with admiration and amazement. Another barbarian nodded and said, Qin Jiang will become a talent and he will rise. He was born with great valor, and the strength of his body can topple the mountains and overturn the seas. He hunts ferocious birds and wild beasts like picking up grass. What's even rarer is that he has opened his true meridian and cultivated to level 2 of true chi. He is like a tiger that has grown wings. There are many youths in the great wilderness who have strong bodies, but there are not many who can open their true meridian. Qin Jiang is a super genius of the Dehua tribe that only appears once in 100 years. This time he will go to the outside world and participate in the Devil Hero trial. If he can become a Devil Hero, he will be able to learn the most powerful True Chi Divine technique. It will benefit the entire tribe. Yes, True Chi Divine technique is something we lack in our tribe. Another barbarian sighed. The true Chi Divine technique is still in the hands of the Devil Hero. We, the children of the great wilderness who can become a Devil Hero, do not have unparalleled skills? Qin Jiang will become a Devil Hero this time. There is no need to doubt this. The youths in the outside world are as weak as lambs in front of Qin Jiang. Ah! The young man turned around and smiled. Uncles, those people in the outside world treat us, the children of the great wilderness, as barbarians. Qin Jiang will make them pay. In this Devil Hero trial, Qin Jiang must personally kill all the competitors and stand out. Qin Jiang likes to kill those who think highly of themselves. In fact, they are very weak. They are not even as strong as the birds and dragons that Qin Jiang casually tore apart. Ah! How ambitious! One of the barbarians smiled, but he also reminded Qin Jiang. However, Qin Jiang, you can't be too complacent. Although the youths in the outside world are physically weaker than us, in terms of true chi cultivation, their talent and physique are better than us, the children of the great wilderness. I heard that those sects have many true chi divine technique manuals that we covet. Uncle Qin Huan has underestimated Qin Jiang. Qin Jiang is not afraid of those sect disciples at all. He will kill them like pigs and dogs. Uncle Qin Huan, just wait and see. Viciousness flashed across Qin Jiang's eyes. Ah! A burst of unrestrained and coarse laughter immediately reverberated in the wilderness. Dong dong dong, dong 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 dong, the ground shook. There seems to be a group of giant beasts galloping towards us. Xiaohan's ears twitched a few times. Brother Xiaohan, there are 17 giant beasts. No, 18. Little Tiger crouched down and put his right ear to the ground to listen. Then he blinked at Xiaohan. Xiaohan nodded and licked his lips. Get ready to hunt. I haven't killed enough today. Not long after, dust billowed in front of them. The sound of hooves stomping on the ground was getting closer and closer, like rolling thunder. Xiaohan, seems to be a human. No, it's a human riding a wild beast. Princess Mo Hen covered her eyes with her hand. It's a tribe in the great wilderness. Princess, be careful. Hu Qinghe quickly reminded. These are the tribes in the great wilderness? Sure enough, each of them is full of vigor and their aura is like that of a humanoid beast. Their flesh shells are very strong. If I didn't cultivate in Stone Village just based on my physical body, I would indeed be too weak and frail in front of these people. Xiaohan quietly activated the tortoise breathing style, sealing all his strength and sharp aura, making him look very harmless. Alright children, we can't hunt anymore. They seem to be people from some tribe. Do you know these people? Xiaohan asked in a low voice. Brother Xiaohan, we don't know these people. In the outskirts of the great wilderness, there are only our ancient village and a few small tribes. They are riding flame bulls, a very strong type of wild beast. Their eyes can spit fire, but their hooves and tendons are very delicious. In the past, Brother Mingqiu had hunted a flame bull and let us try it. It's very delicious. That's right. Especially the bull's eyes. When you eat it, you can't help but swallow your own tongue. Little Tiger swallowed his saliva while staring at the flame bulls. More than 10 children stared at the flame bulls with saliva dripping from their mouths, automatically filtering out the riders on the bulls. Goo, goo, a few of the children's stomachs were still growling. They were full of appetite. A group of gluttons. Xiaohan laughed involuntarily. The children of Stone Village could eat a lot and were also very gluttonous. However, he couldn't just go and steal other people's mouths, right? Xiaohan hurriedly called out to the children. Alright children, let them go. Don't stare at other people's bulls, it's very rude. Oh. The children were still quite obedient and reluctantly moved their gazes away. However, the dozen or so flaming oxen stopped, and vaguely formed an encirclement, surrounding Xiaohan and his group. Just now, I heard that someone wants to eat a flame bull. A young man had an extremely cold expression on his face as he looked at Xiaohan and the group of brats with a condescending gaze. It was as if he was looking at a group of ants that he could kill and take away. It was the young genius of the Dehua tribe, Qinjiang. His eyes emitted a frightening light that was overbearing. So it's a group of little reptiles that live in the outskirts of the great wilderness. But their tone is very arrogant. His gaze turned and looked at the outstanding beauty Princess Mo Hen. His gaze was very aggressive and possessive. It unscrupulously swept across Princess Mo Hen's exquisite and curvaceous body and then loudly said, "Uncles, what do you think of this woman? In the Dehua tribe, you can't find such a beautiful woman. Moreover, she's not a child of the great wilderness. Obviously, she's from the outside world. I seem to have heard people call her princess. Maybe she's the princess of some kingdom from the outside world. That's great. She can be my concubine." The men of the great wilderness regard having beautiful women from the outside world as an honor. This kind of woman is enough for me to show off in front of my brothers. They will be jealous of me. Father will also agree with my taste. The barbarians all nodded and expressed their agreement with Qinjiang's words. Qinjiang thought for a few breaths and then said with a commanding tone, "Little reptiles, leave your prey and atone for your rudeness. Then kneel down. After we leave you can stand up. That woman you will follow me now. You will become my private property and a beautiful feather that I can show off in the tribe." Xiao Hu widened his eyes. "This brother, why do you want to steal our prey? And you want us to kneel? Moreover, Princess Mo Hen is not your private property. You can't take her away." The people of the great wilderness are really a bit interesting. Xiao Han silently licked his lips. The killing intent in his heart was out of control. Presumptuous. This is too presumptuous. Hearing Qinjiang's insulting words and insulting Princess Mo Hen, Hu Qinghe was so angry that he blew his beard and glared at Qinjiang. The true qi in his body surged, and the 35-pointed star true acupoints emitted a red glow. A surging true qi river soared into the sky. Qinjiang was stunned. Immediately, his eyes burst out a beam of light that made people tremble. He said sternly, "It seems that these lowly people should all be killed." Xiao Han looked left and right and suddenly realized. No wonder eldest senior brother found an excuse to escape. It turned out that he had predicted that something would happen. He didn't want to show up and see how I would deal with it. Really? The next moment, Xiao Han took a step forward and shouted, "Eldest senior brother, I know you are nearby. I want to ask you something. I am going to start a massacre and crush all these barbarians. If possible, eldest senior brother doesn't need to say anything. If I can't kill them, I hope eldest senior brother can say something to stop them. I will count from 1 to 3. If eldest senior brother doesn't say anything, I will start. 1, 2, 3. Xiao Han shouted 3 times. The wilderness was empty. Xiao Mingchu's voice was not heard. Xiao Han nodded and said to himself, "Okay, eldest senior brother, I understand what you mean." Immediately, Xiao Han raised his head and looked at Qinjiang and the barbarians. "I'm sorry, all of you will die here. Yes, all of you will die. The Peerless Tang Sect." Chapter 124. Xiao Han glanced around. There were a total of 18 people. Their bodies were all extremely strong, and all of them had cultivated true qi. However, their true qi realms were not very high. This seemingly arrogant young man had opened 16 acupoints and was at the 2nd level of true qi. The rest of the barbarians were also at the 2nd level of true qi. Only one was at the 3rd level. In terms of the quality of true qi, these people could not be compared to Nangongyi. Nangongyi was a hero after all. He had gone through the trials of blood and fire. Not any random group of people from the great wilderness could be stronger than Nangongyi. How dare a group of people like this clamor in front of me? They are all looking for death. Moreover, great senior brother has gone into hiding. It is obvious that he wants me to compete with the people from the great wilderness. Why should I be polite? Xiao Han sneered in his heart. His fighting spirit was boiling. Kids, back off. Tonight we can eat the flaming bull. Xiao Han waved his hand at the kids, signaling them to back off. Xiao Han, you have to be careful. They have the numbers advantage and they are barbaric and powerless, Princess Mo Hen shouted worriedly. Hu Qinghe and a few other true qi realm guards stood guard in front of her, on full alert. "Oh, you are not a child of the great wilderness." Qinjiang looked at Xiao Han coldly. "And you are very weak." Before he could finish his words, suddenly, boom. Xiao Han's aura suddenly exploded. His powerful and domineering aura rose to its peak without any preparation. There was only a distance of 100 feet between him and Qinjiang. With the strength of Xiao Han's body, he could completely ignore this distance. In less than a breath's time, Xiao Han's figure dashed forward and was already in front of Qin Jiang. Strong winds blew and clouds surged. Die. Xiao Han punched out. The tornado around him roared, and even the flaming bull that Qin Jiang was riding fell to the ground. Qin Jiang did not even have the chance to activate his true qi. In the blink of an eye, he roared and punched out with his right fist. He fought Xiao Han with pure physical strength. Bang! Their fists collided. It was as if a meteorite had collided and the sky collapsed. Ka 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 ka. Spiderweb-like cracks instantly appeared on the ground. Ah! Qin Jiang let out a heart-wrenching shriek that sounded like a pig being slaughtered. In the blink of an eye, his beast skin clothes were shattered into ashes at a speed visible to the naked eye. In less than a breath's time, his jade-white skin was covered in terrifying and shocking cracks like porcelain. The cracks spread all over his body like a centipede. Puff, puff, puff. Qin Jiang's body began to explode. Puchi, the flaming bull that Qin Jiang was riding on, was smashed into a pile of minced meat. In just one exchange, Xiao Han had used the pure strength of his body to directly smash a man from the great wilderness who was famous for his strong body. Xiao Han said disdainfully as he landed on the ground. His aura surged and the blood in his body surged. His physical body only has about 100,000 ding of strength, yet he dares to jump around? In the outside world it might be able to move people, but in front of me it's not even worth mentioning. He really doesn't know how to write the word death. There was silence between heaven and earth. The next moment, roar. No. Qin Jiang was killed. The young genius of the Dahua tribe died. How did this happen? This time, Qin Jiang was going to participate in the hex trial. He was destined to become a hex, a rising genius. Why did he die here? This is unforgivable. This is completely unforgivable. The tribe leader will go crazy. A group of barbarians let out mournful cries. Cuckoos and blood-weeping apes wailed as if they were mourning the death of their parents. The next moment, more than a dozen true energy attacks blasted towards Xiao Han at the same time. They wanted to blast Xiao Han into pieces. Ah! The true energy cultivation method that you barbarians cultivate is really weak. Ah! Xiao Han laughed loudly. The next moment, hum. Rays of golden light bloomed from the surface of Xiao Han's body. The golden bone text flashed everywhere, beautiful and magnificent. At this moment, Xiao Han seemed to be bathed in a blazing golden sea. His skin seemed to be dyed gold, and his eyes were shining with golden light. He was like an inviolable god. Between heaven and earth, faint sounds of Zen and Sanskrit could be heard. Indestructible golden body. This was the indestructible golden body that Xiao Han had cultivated for 1 year and 7 months under the terrifying pressure of the ancient village. Things were different now. It was no small matter. The indestructible golden body complemented the strength of Xiao Han's flesh shell. The stronger the flesh shell, the more powerful and blazing the indestructible golden body. Now Xiao Han was using 700,000 ding of flesh shell strength to activate the indestructible golden body. It was simply heaven-defying. Bang, 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 bang. Rays of dazzling true energy attacks bombarded Xiao Han like raindrops, but they were swallowed by the golden light and disappeared without a trace. What kind of *T true energy cultivation method is this? It's not even as good as my spirit turtle true energy. All of you die. Xiao Han's body moved slightly, and he had already flashed in front of a barbarian. Boom. With a punch, the barbarian was blasted into meat paste. Xiao Han's body turned in the air and forcefully changed direction. From left to right, he continuously bombarded the barbarian. It was like entering an unstoppable realm. Like a hot knife through butter, sweeping away thousands of soldiers. My body is as strong as a treasure. The indestructible golden body dominates the wilderness. My internal organs are as deep as the sea. A punch and a kick can destroy the world. If I meet a demon hero who cultivates a powerful true energy cultivation method, I might not dare to attack directly. But you barbarians of the wilderness, your bodies are not as strong as mine, and your true energy cultivation methods are inferior. I can kill you like slaughtering pigs and dogs. Xiao Han was like a human-shaped beast, flashing in and out. His speed was extremely fast. In just a dozen breaths' time, the barbarians were all dead. None of them who were arrogant just now survived. Bang! Xiao Han's feet landed on the ground, and every step he took shattered the ground. A bunch of clowns? Wow! Big brother Xiao Han is so strong. The little brats cheered. Kill these evil people. Hu Qinghe's body trembled as he said to Princess Inghen. Your Highness, now young hero Xiaohan's battle strength is simply shocking. With just this body, I'm afraid he can fight against Nangong Yi. Too strong. He's ridiculously strong. Clap, 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 the sound of hands clapping rang out. Xiao Mingchu leisurely strolled over from afar. Junior brother Xiaohan, the strength of your flesh shell complements this simple yet powerful body refining technique, bringing out the best in each other. A normal true energy realm martial artist cannot break through your defense. Xiao Mingchu walked over. Eldest senior brother is too kind. Xiaohan's heart was much calmer now. He knew that the world was big and the strong were as many as the trees in the forest. Thus he was not arrogant at all. It's just that the true energy cultivation method of this group of barbarians is too inferior. That's why my little brother can ignore their attacks. Moreover, although their bodies are strong, they are not as strong as me, who has undergone 100 times the gravity training. Speaking of which, it's not that my little brother is strong but that they are too weak. That's right, eldest senior brother, where did this group of people come from? If he killed them, would he leave behind future troubles? Will it bring disaster to the ancient village? Junior brother Xiaohan, I don't know where these people came from. The great desolate territory is vast and boundless. There are countless tribes and ancient countries, as many as the eternal sands. The people you killed were all trash. Their bloodlines were extremely inferior. Come to think of it, they were nothing more than a self-proclaimed noble tribe in a remote area of the great desolate. In this bitter and desolate land, they were arrogant and tyrannical. They were arrogant and ignorant, bullying the weak and fearing the strong. No one could control them. Just now, that young man even wanted to participate in this year's hex selection. He is really ignorant to the extreme. This kind of person belongs to the category of cannon fodder. It doesn't matter if they are killed by you. Sooner or later they will die in the cruel hex selection. Xiao Mingchu spoke frankly with assurance. Just now, I heard someone coming, so I deliberately avoided them to see if there would be a dispute. The people of the great desolate territory are very unreasonable. These people really want to bully you. I also want to take this opportunity to test junior brother Xiaohan's combat strength. Xiaohan laughed involuntarily. He thought to himself, eldest senior brother, you are really something. You actually used a group of barbarians to test my combat strength. Originally, I was going to take you to the depths of the great desolate territory to find opportunities to fight with people and test your combat strength. But now, it seems that there is no need for that. This year's hex selection will start in a few months. There is no need to go to the great desolate territory. If you get into a difficult battle and waste time, it will not be good. Xiao Mingchu smiled. These barbarians appeared at the right time, haha. They saved me the trouble of taking you to the depths of the great desolate territory to train. Alright, junior brother Xiaohan, go back. With your current combat strength, if you were in the previous hex selection, you have a 90% chance of standing out and becoming a hex hero. Even if this is the cruelest in history, you should at least have a 50% or 60% chance of winning. Stay in the ancient village for another month, and I will tell you some of my experiences in the hex selection. After that, I will take you back to the Pure Cloud sect. Prepare to participate in this year's hex selection. Yes, senior brother, I have been away from the sect for almost 2 years. I want to go back too, haha. Xiaohan was overjoyed. Xiao Mingchu released his true qi, burning the corpses on the ground into nothingness, leaving no traces. After that, everyone carried the prey they had hunted today, returning to the village with a bountiful harvest. Ancient village. Night. The sky was filled with stars, and the full moon shone with a noble and otherworldly beauty. The villagers lit up a special bonfire and roasted delicious flaming cows, luan and dire beasts. They even danced to liven up the atmosphere. Xiaohan chomped on the luan meat as he chatted with Xiao Mingchu. Alright, junior brother Xiaohan, tonight you should start breaking through your meridians. Let's see how many meridians you can break through with your body that is comparable to a dire beast. Xiao Mingchu's expression was full of anticipation. Yes, senior brother. Tonight I will break through my meridians in seclusion. Xiaohan wiped the grease off the corner of his mouth. Night. Xiaohan left the ancient village, a few miles away from the village. He sat cross-legged. There were a few large carriages beside him, filled with true qi spirit stones. Those were Princess Emohen's dowry. Now they had become Xiaohan's private property. Xiaohan's eyes were focused on his nose was focused on his heart, and his mind was immersed in the position of the 15th acupoint. Start breaking through. Let's see how many meridians I can break through. To be continued. Chapter 125. After living in the ancient village for more than a year, Xiaohan had cut off the connection between his soul and his true meridians. His true qi was completely blocked. He focused on training his flesh shell. Now, his flesh shell had been tempered 100 times, like an unsheathed sword, showing off its sharpness. It was time to shift the focus of his training to true qi. Breaking through the meridians. Xiao Mingqiu once said that the stronger the body, the easier it was to break through the meridians. King. In the night sky, a blade light flashed. A strand of blade intent was shot out by Xiaohan. Open the 15th true meridian. The blade intent that could cut through the void directly broke through everything. The 15th true meridian was opened. From within Xiaohan's body, the beautiful sound of a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon was heard. Xiaohan continuously sensed the true meridians in one go. His spirit was crystal clear without any impurities. At this moment he was in the best state. Sensing the location of the true meridian was like looking at the lines on his palm. Life and death, honor and disgrace, it didn't matter. More than a year's worth of accumulation exploded all at once. To his heart's content. The 16th, the 17th, the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, the peak of the second level. The 21st true meridian was about to break through to the third level. This was a natural moat. If he could break through it, it would be a smooth journey. If he couldn't break through it, it might become a long-term shackle. The 21st true meridian was sealed. It was very stubborn and blocked. It couldn't be easily broken through. Xiaohan used his spirit as a blade and sliced. Charge. To no avail. Then he used the blade intent that could break all laws to kill. The 21st true meridian began to loosen. It was on the verge of collapse. Roar. This was a crucial moment. Xiaohan roared loudly. All the muscles, bones, and skin in his body. All opened up. The power of his body was like a star shining, like the sun and moon in the sky, like a river flowing through the land. The indestructible golden body emitted golden light and densely packed bone runes bloomed. The chanting and Zen intent resounded. The next moment, bang. The 21st acupoint had completely and utterly exploded. True Qi Stage 3. After breaking through this barrier, Xiaohan charged straight in and attacked the root of the problem. His acupoints exploded consecutively. Number 22. The 23rd. The 24th. The 28th. Until the 28th true meridian was opened. Only then did the blazing momentum of breaking the wind and breaking the waves, as well as the determination to forge ahead, begin to gradually weaken. In the end, all banners and drums ceased. The 29th acupoint was temporarily unable to be opened. Even so, Xiaohan's true qi realm skyrocketed from the second stage to the peak of the third stage. From 14 true meridians, it charged to 28 true meridians. It was definitely not a small matter. Perhaps it could be said that the stronger one's physical body was, the easier it would be to break through the true acupoints. However, it was not as easy as eating and drinking. Between the physical body and the true qi, there seems to be a complementary relationship, but it is very subtle. After all, they belong to two completely different fields. Like well water and river water. It could raise one's cultivation by a whole realm. Xiaohan was very satisfied. His level of life, thinking, spirit, and bearing had all made great progress. At this moment, Xiaohan's body was shrouded in a dazzling light. True qi light columns were rising above his head. It was a spectacular sight. In his body, there were 28 five-pointed stars shining brightly like stars in the sky. Hu. Xiaohan let out a mouthful of turbid air and gently wiped the beads of sweat from his forehead. The peak of the third stage of true qi, coupled with an extraordinary flesh shell, I won't be considered cannon fodder if I participate in this year's Monster Hero tryouts, right? I, Xiaohan, will also compete with the most outstanding talents of the generation in the East, South, West, and North regions. And I will not be afraid of the young generation of the ancient countries and powerful tribes in the depths of the wasteland. The next moment, in his heart, the four broken seals slightly throbbed and trembled. As Xiaohan's true qi realm increased, some martial arts-like cocoons, as expected, burst out. Indestructible golden body. 51 to 60 movements. Emperor's divine fist 6 style. Broken mountains and rivers. 9 revolutions divine art 2nd revolution. As for the 7 fragment blade technique, Xiaohan had not comprehended the third form, fragmented will form. Therefore, the seal with the traces of the 7-fragment blade technique did not trigger new martial arts-like cocoons for the time being. The fragmented wool form was related to the breaking of the blade intent, nirvana rebirth, breaking the old and establishing the new. This was not a trivial matter, and Xiao Han was not confident yet. He needed an epiphany and an opportunity in the future. He could not rush it. At this moment, the sky had already turned white. At the same time, Xiao Han's mental strength was haggard. After a night of opening meridians, Xiao Han's mental strength was like a sponge being sucked dry. At this moment, his eyes were heavy and he was drowsy. Let's go back to the ancient village and rest for a day. Xiao Han stood up and took out some supreme-grade true Qi spirit stones from the carriage beside him. He inserted them into the true meridians, filling the newly opened true meridians with true Qi. Back to the village. Back in the ancient village, Xiao Han went straight into a stone house and fell asleep. Xiao Mingqiu sat on a stone bench, chiseling talisman characters on the bone arrow. He looked at Xiao Han, his eyes showing appreciation and gratification. He murmured, "Good boy, you have consecutively opened more than 10 true meridians, and you have also reached the peak of the 3rd level true Qi. In today's world, among the younger generation, you are amazing and will not lose to other enchanting geniuses. My more than a year of training was not in vain. Perhaps, in the future, our Pure Rain sect will rise up to have a super demon hero." Xiao Han slept in the stone house for the whole day. He was only woken up by Princess Mo Hen at night. After dinner, Xiao Mingqiu called Xiao Han over. The two brothers sat on the stone bench and chatted. "Junior brother Xiao Han, I will soon bring you out of the ancient village, out of the great wilderness and back to the southern domain. This year's Demon Hero trial will begin as scheduled. You should be very unfamiliar with the Demon Hero trial, right?" Xiao Mingqiu said with a faint smile. "Yes, eldest senior brother, I've never heard of the hex contest. More than a year ago my strength was low and I did not have the qualifications to know about this." Xiao Han also smiled. "Well, now I'll tell you about the hex hero preliminaries, so that you will not be confused when you participate. You don't know anything." Xiao Mingqiu quickly sorted out his thoughts. Then he talked incessantly, "Junior brother Xiao Han. The demon hero is the most powerful and the most amazing genius among the human true Qi realm. He is the best of the best after a narrow selection. The main responsibility of the demon hero is to hunt the demon race, so that this world will not become a paradise for the demon race. Apart from killing demons, the demon hero can also go on some adventures. For example, exploring some ruins and secret realms. Once you become a demon hero, you will be clearly separated from ordinary martial artists, holding the demon hero order. You can ignore the laws and restrictions of the secular world, do whatever you want without being oppressed by the rules and even crush the rules. Seriously, the laws of the empire and the sect's dogma are all bullshit to the demon hero. Also, the demon hero can enter some mysterious worlds that ordinary martial artists will never be able to explore and understand. The demon hero can also participate in the games and tests set by the strongest people in this world, and obtain unimaginable rewards. The demon hero is worshipped and envied by all. Moreover, every demon hero is extremely rich. Because the demon hero can enter all kinds of secret realms to explore, if they are blessed with luck. They can obtain all kinds of true Qi and secret techniques. They can even obtain clues to become immortal. For example, the unique technique of the Great Son of Heaven. The Great Sun Heart Sutra was found by this guy hundreds of years ago when he entered an ancient ruin and found in the murals on the ancient wall. He cultivated this technique, and his battle strength increased exponentially, and his aura swallowed the 9 provinces. In the end, he established a sect and founded the Sun God Palace in the Blazing Sun Empire. The demon hero gained both fame and fortune. In this world, there are many powerful true Qi techniques that ordinary martial artists do not have the opportunity to learn. They will not be passed down to the world. For example, the few major sects of the Beacon Fire Empire, each sect's most powerful technique was obtained by the sect leader of the demon hero from the secret realms and ancient ruins when he was adventuring. Basically, he will not teach it to his disciples. It is kept secret. For example, our sect leader's 8-9 great true Qi. However, junior brother Xiao Han, the sect leader favors you very much. Maybe he will teach you this unprecedented 8-9 great true Qi in the future. But your current realm and mental cultivation are not enough. Xiao Han listened with great interest, and became more and more fascinated by becoming a demon hero. Xiao Han also understood. So, in this world, demon hero was the core. If one could not become a demon hero, they were destined to be mediocre for the rest of their lives. They had no fate with endless adventures and excitement. Xiao Mingqiu continued to narrate. Junior brother Xiao Han, the demon hero trial is held every 5 years. The most basic conditions to participate in the trial are: first, you must not fear the demon clan and even desire to kill the demon clan. Second, you must be a true Qi realm martial artist under the age of 30. As for the rules of the trial, it is set by the higher-ups of the Demon Hero Tower. The Demon Hero Tower is the authority that manages all the demon heroes in this world. The people who participate in the Demon Hero Trial are mainly composed of 3 parts. The first is the outstanding talents recommended by the sects in the East, South, West and West regions, as well as the outstanding rogue cultivators in the Jianghu who meet the requirements. The second is the young generation born in the ancient countries and powerful tribes in the depths of the great wilderness. The third, well, in recent years, some of the older generation of demon heroes in the demon hero domain in the central region are also trying to cultivate successors. They will select some babies from the world with extraordinary talent, and start to cultivate them from an early age. Now, these enchantresses personally cultivated by the older generation of demon heroes have also begun to appear, and all of them are extremely strong. Some of the best will participate in this year's Demon Hero Trial, and these people are extremely terrifying. Tisk. Xiao Han was shocked. Eldest senior brother, in this case, the weakest of the 3 parts of people who participate in the Demon Hero Trial should be the young people selected by the sects in the East, South, West and West regions, and those rogue cultivators in the Jianghu. I feel that the talents cultivated by the older generation of demon heroes in the central region are entrusted with important tasks, and that is the most dangerous part. Isn't that right? Xiao Mingqiu looked slightly disdainful and dissatisfied. Those old antiques think that the 4 regions can't produce the strongest demon heroes, so they decided to cultivate a new generation of demon heroes. But fortunately, there are not too many babies selected by them, and some of them have already died in the cruel and harsh training during their growth. But those who can survive are indeed extremely dangerous people. They have received all kinds of training, and have received trial opportunities that ordinary martial artists can't imagine. Therefore, this year's Demon Hero Trial is the most terrifying, difficult, and demanding one in history. It has the highest mortality rate. Junior brother Xiao Han, I have to say that you are very unlucky. You have encountered the cruelest Demon Hero Trial in history. But if you can stand out, you will definitely rise in the future. Your achievements will surpass mine. Next, I will tell you some things that may happen during the Demon Hero Trial. Listen carefully. Xiao Mingqiu's voice became serious. I'm all ears. Xiao Han did not dare to neglect. To be continued. Chapter 126. Xiao Mingqiu said solemnly. Junior brother Xiao Han, the content of the Hex Hero Trial is all-inclusive. All-inclusive? Xiao Han was stunned. Senior brother, what do you mean? Xiao Mingqiu said. Junior brother Xiao Han, you probably think that the Hex Hero Trial is a group of contestants fighting each other and the winner is decided in the arena, right? Isn't that the case? Xiao Han became more and more confused. According to his understanding, the Hex Hero Trial should indeed be a fight between the strong and the weak. It's not that simple. Xiao Mingqiu's eyes flashed with a thoughtful expression. The content of each Hex Hero Trial is different. This is a high-level secret of the Hex Hero Tower. The content can't be leaked in advance. However, according to the situation of the previous competitions, fighting spirit, battle of courage, forming a team to hunt and kill a high-ranked demon general, maze, breakthrough, disguise, arena competition, death game, survival in the desolate wasteland, there were too many contents in the competition. It doesn't mean that you will survive if you have a strong combat power or a high cultivation level. Sometimes you need to rely on your brain. Of course, there's also luck. Junior brother Xiao Han, you have to know that after becoming a Hex Hero, your main responsibility is to hunt down demons. This requires a Hex Hero to have very strong judgment, wisdom, analytical ability, and deduction ability. So, in the Hex Hero Trial, these aspects will also be taken into account. This? Xiao Han was speechless. I remember that the Hex Hero Trial I participated in lasted as long as a year. There were layers of checkpoints, natural selection, rounds of elimination, and there would be people dying in each round. In the last round, there were 800 people left and they entered a virtual space created by a powerful person. It was a maze and the slightest mistake could lead to one's death. It was also filled with all kinds of spiritual illusions and demons disguised as participants. I was very lucky to be able to find one of the few ways to survive in such a huge maze. Xiao Mingchu's face revealed an expression of lingering fear. After a pause he continued. I talked to junior brother Dong Fangqin. The last round of his Hex Hero trial was to enter a demon town and hunt down demons within a specified time. The contestants also fought and killed each other, and finally the contestants collected the most demon corpses. The one with the most wins, and the last round of junior brother Fang Ling's batch was relatively simple. It was an arena battle. Xiao Han understood. The content of each Hex trial was different. Therefore, it was not very meaningful to spend energy to collect information about previous competitions. Junior brother Xiao Han, you have to remember that it's good to have allies in the Hex trial. In reality, some of the contestants did not have the strength to win alone. However, they had found the right ally, which was why they stood out. Roping in allies that were helpful to him was also a way of survival. But I have to warn you, do not easily trust any of the participants. The Hex Hero preliminaries were very cruel. Seriously speaking, all the contestants were competitors. There was a price to be paid for rashly allying with others. There were many who would stab others in the back, stepping on the corpses of their allies at the critical moment. This is very scary, Xiao Mingchu warned earnestly. Yes, eldest senior brother. I understand now. If there were no special circumstances, I would definitely not look for allies. Between life and death, perhaps no one else could be relied on other than oneself. I wouldn't dare to expose my back to anyone. Xiao Han agreed. Also, you must know how to conceal your strength. Don't expose all your trump cards at the beginning of the competition. However, I believe that it's extremely easy for you to do this. You have a special skill that can hide your aura and power, which will make people think that you are a rookie and let down their guard. This is very beneficial for you, Xiao Mingchu laughed. Also, you know some demon techniques, but don't use them easily unless it's a critical moment. Otherwise, you will become the target of covetous and besieged. Xiao Mingchu looked at the night sky leisurely and murmured, in this Hex trial, it is said that the death rate will reach 90%. Those who can survive are the elites of the elites. I don't know if junior brother Xiao Han will have the last laugh. In short, it could only be summed up in one sentence: by fair means or foul. In the Hex trial, in order to survive, you must do whatever it takes. Also, you must be as calm as a rock and have sharp judgment. Well, junior brother Xiao Han, go and practice by yourself. Before returning to the southern region, I will try to tell you some of my experiences. I hope it will help you. Yes, senior brother. After saying goodbye to Xiao Mingchu, Xiao Han left the ancient village alone and went to the area outside the ancient village where he could sense the true acupuncture point. Under the cool and bright moonlight, Xiao Han sat cross-legged. It seems that the Hex trial is more difficult than I thought. I must hurry up and practice. No matter what, the stronger I am, the greater the chance of survival. Sometimes luck also belongs to the strong. If I am not strong enough, even if I am lucky, I will not be able to grasp it. Xiao Han began to practice the various martial arts skills deduced in the light cocoon. First was the 51 to 60 movements of the indestructible golden body. These 10 movements were very complicated. Every movement was beyond common sense. Moreover, it involved the arrangement and use of the bone text. Xiao Han spent a full 5 days before he was able to master these 10 movements. The surface of Xiao Han's body was glistening with a golden light, and rays of light bloomed. Mysterious and cryptic bone inscriptions were like clear streams flowing in the treasure light. Magical. The 51 to 60 movements of the indestructible golden body can reflect 10% of the enemy's attack when receiving an enemy's attack, causing damage to the enemy. The 41 to 50 movements of the indestructible golden body were to directly absorb a part of the enemy's attack and forcibly transform it into golden light and the power of the body. And the 51 to 60 movements were to absorb a part of the enemy's attack and transform it into the power of the body while also reflecting 10% of the enemy's attack. It was a bit like giving the enemy a taste of their own medicine. Great. The more I practice the indestructible golden body, the more interesting it becomes. The more I practice, the more magical it becomes. Reflecting attacks. I am afraid that most of the body-refining martial arts in the world cannot do this, right? Xiao Han was extremely excited. He practiced these 10 movements diligently and relentlessly. 5 days later, Xiao Han began to practice the follow-up martial arts of the Son of Heaven's Divine Fist. The 6th movement of the Son of Heaven's Divine Fist, Broken Rivers and Mountains. This movement turned out to be a true chi cultivation technique. Using the first 5 movements, Sovereign's Descent, the Emperor's Robe, the Emperor's Wrath, the Emperor's Death, and the Momentum, created was directly broken. A type of true chi fragment was formed in the true acupoint. In order to practice this movement, broken rivers and mountains. Xiao Han first succeeded in practicing the second revolution of the 9 revolutions divine art. The second revolution of the 9 revolutions divine art opened the second wave of virtual true acupoints. It allowed Xiao Han to give up the spirit turtle true chi and the hornless dragon profound ice true chi to cultivate a third type of true chi. In 3 days he cultivated the second wave of virtual true acupoints. Xiao Han transferred the spirit turtle true chi and profound ice true chi that filled his true acupoints to the virtual true acupoints. The 28 true acupoints in his body were now empty. The momentum of the sovereign's descent, shatter. The momentum of the emperor's robe, shatter. The momentum of the emperor's battle, shatter. The momentum of the emperor's wrath, shatter. The momentum of the emperor's death, shatter. In Xiao Han's true meridian, the fragmented energy formed mottled fragments of true chi, which looked almost hideous. Xiao Han placed a few dozen supreme-grade true chi spirit stones into his true acupoints and completely fused them with the true chi fragment. A few days later, Xiao Han's 28 true acupoints were filled with fragments of light. They were extremely resplendent and colorful. They were like gems, like stars, like amber and agate. They were pure and extremely condensed. Moreover, the aura contained in these true chi fragments possessed a kind of nobility that looked down on the world. It was cold and inviolable. It was the aura of a king. However, the true chi fragments could not be used in battle for now. These true chi fragments were formed from the momentum of the emperor contained in the few forms of the emperor's divine fist that I have practiced. They have also devoured a large number of supreme-grade true chi spirit stones, making them as bright as the stars. The quality of these true chi fragments is extremely high, far surpassing the spirit turtle true chi and the hornless dragon profound ice true chi. Moreover, they have traces and a taste of fusion. However, I have no idea what the true chi fragments can produce from the fusion. Perhaps I will only find out after I practice the 7th form of the Emperor's Divine Fist, which is also the last form. Whatever, let's not worry about this for now. Xiao Han moved the true chi fragments into the virtual true acupoints and converted the hornless dragon profound ice true chi. Roar! The 28 5-pointed star true acupoints in Xiao Han's body emitted tens of thousands of icy lights. The cold light lingered and froze hundreds of miles away. In the next moment, a giant hornless dragon that was more than 100 feet long appeared. It breathed clouds and breathed out mist. Its entire body was wrapped in thick frost and the temperature in all directions suddenly dropped. Puff! He spat out a mouthful of icy cold air, and the sound of glass shattering could be heard in the air. A large area of air was frozen and cracked, and ice crystals sprinkled down like a dense rain. Now that I have opened 28 true acupoints and transformed into a hornless dragon, the coldness and attack power are many times stronger than before. This hornless dragon profound ice true chi was discovered by senior brother Dongfang Qin in an ancient site. Its quality is very high. In fact, it is not inferior to the devil hero Nangong Ye's burning heaven great chi. In fact, it is even better. Xiao Han released the hornless dragon and circled around. The sky began to snow, causing the area dozens of miles away from the ancient village to be covered in ice. This was the most enjoyable moment. The hornless dragon disintegrated into icy lights and entered Xiao Han's true acupoints. He practiced his saber art for a while before returning to the ancient village with a clear mind. A full month later, Xiao Mingqiu brought Xiao Han and was about to leave the ancient village. 17 You two stay in the ancient village for now. If I become a devil hero, I will immediately come to pick you up. Xiao Han smiled and said to Princess Mo Hen. Princess Mo Hen was reluctant to leave. In the ancient village she had stayed with Xiao Han for nearly 2 years. They were together day and night and they were intimate with each other. She would often feed Xiao Han with her own hands. At this moment she had already secretly pledged her heart to Xiao Han. Her feelings were deeply rooted and she was completely devoted to him. She really could not bear to leave Xiao Han for even a moment. However, she also did not want to be tied down by Xiao Han's side and affect his participation in the devil hero selection. Thus, she could only let Xiao Han leave the village. Alright, you two will stay in the ancient village. Originally, I only planned to let you stay for 2 years. However, the people of the ancient village seem to get along well with you. They have also built up a relationship with you too. I will allow you to continue to stay. Xiao Mingqiu smiled. Although the ancient village is desolate, there is no worldly intrigue. It is a secluded paradise. You two can stay in peace. If Xiao Han becomes a devil hero, he will have enough ability to settle you too. Alright, junior brother Xiao Han, let's return to the southern region. I have not returned to the Pure Rain sect for many years. I also missed the Pure Rain mountain range, the sect leader, and all the junior brothers. Ah. Yes. Eldest senior brother, I also can't wait. I am eager to return. Let's go. Chapter 127. After settling Princess Mo Hen and the other family members, Xiao Han bid farewell to the people of the ancient village. After living in the ancient village for nearly 2 years, Xiao Han had established a deep relationship with the villagers. They parted reluctantly. I'll be back. Xiao Han rubbed the heads of the kids and left the ancient village with Xiao Mingqiu. The villagers sent him far away like a swarm of bees. The little wimps were all crying with tears in their eyes. Princess Mo Hen also held back her tears. Outside the great wilderness, Xiao Mingqiu's body emitted an endless amount of divine light and light, transforming into a divine bird that was dozens of acres in size. 5-colored divine light swirled around it, emitting an aura that made the heaven and earth tremble. Xiao Han and Xiao Mingqiu boarded the divine bird. Xiao Han, you must become a vigilante. Mo Hen will wait for you here day and night. On the ground, Princess Mo Hen summoned up her courage and shouted. Finally, the divine bird transformed into a beam of divine light and traveled thousands of miles in an instant. Junior brother Xiao Han, that princess seems to be interested in you, hee. Xiao Mingqiu winked at Xiao Han. What do you think? The princess is as pure as ice and as clean as jade. She is as beautiful as a fairy. I don't believe that you won't be moved by her. Xiao Han smiled embarrassedly and avoided answering. I still have a pair of sisters waiting for me in the Valley of the Medicine Masters. Lan Shirong and Jing Yanxue. Eldest senior brother, the most important thing right now is to become a hero. I will never forget the bet between eldest senior brother and the great son of heaven. Xiao Han said excitedly. How can I let eldest senior brother lose to a hypocrite like the great son of heaven? Ha! It doesn't matter. Junior brother Xiao Han, remember you're only a teenager. Even if you can't win this year's Devil Hero trial, you'll still be able to win. Become the evil hero. He had to try his best to survive. You have every chance to participate in the next tournament. The bet between me and the crown prince of the Great Sun Dynasty. It's not worth mentioning. Xiao Mingqiu smiled casually, extremely carefree and calm. The speed of the divine bird was extremely fast, several times faster than the speed of sound. In about 10 days, it would be able to return to the southern region and the cloud sect. Alright, junior brother Xiao Han, I'm going to sleep for a while. Xiao Mingqiu fell asleep immediately and started snoring not long after. Xiao Han was speechless. He sat cross-legged and quietly nurtured his genuine qi. He visualized the movements of the indestructible golden body and refined his saber will. The southern region. Proud Sun Empire. The solar divine palace was located at the peak of the lava of the volcano. The protection of the gods. The sun shone. A golden-robed young man with a face as hard as a rock stood with his hands clasped behind his back. A blazing sun floated above his head as he sat cross-legged with his eyes closed. His aura swept across the land and swallowed the 9 provinces. When his eyes opened and closed, a blazing golden light burst out. Melting gold and iron ruling all living things. It was the son of the sun, Hong. Suddenly, a golden-haired youth walked out of the tumbling magma. His tall figure was like a jade, the ends of his hair still burning with raging flames. His white clothes were like snow, surging with divine flames. His eyes were also golden, with a kind of natural arrogance and indifference. It was as if he didn't place anyone in his eyes. He was proud and aloof, and his temperament was like that of a god that had descended to the mortal world. My disciple Hualai, Emperor of the Great Sun, raised his golden eyes that were intertwined with runes and looked at the youth who was bathed in fire. His eyes burst out with a rare look of admiration. Your natural fire attribute physique is most suitable to cultivate Master's Great Sun Heart Sutra. You are only 20 years old and you have already opened 42 acupoints, True Qi level 5. You are as monstrous and heaven-defying as I was back then. In this year's Devil Hero selection, I hope that you can rise up and become a Devil Hero. With your achievements today in the entire Proud Sun Empire's younger generation, you are as rare as a phoenix feather and a unicorn horn. Master's years of nurturing did not go to waste. Hualai, listen up. In the selection, if you meet a youth called Xiao Han from the Fire Beacon Empire's Pure Cloud sect, you must destroy his cultivation, capture him alive, and hand him over to Master No Mistakes. Pure Cloud Sect? Xiao Han? The golden-haired youth muttered. Soon after, his golden eyes were filled with a violent battle intent that was almost bloodthirsty. Master, please rest assured, if I meet the youth Xiao Han, I will make him beg for death. Ah, Master believes in you. Good disciple. Emperor of the Great Sun laughed maniacally. A large number of volcanoes erupted, and flames engulfed the entire sky. Xiao Mingqiu. In this 1 year's time, I want to see how you train Xiao Han. That Xiao Han has fallen into the Devil Dao, and will be doomed eternally. Ah. What? Master? That Xiao Han has fallen into the Devil Dao? Ah. The golden-haired youth's aura exploded, rising steadily, and his golden eyes instantly turned scarlet red. A blazing sun rose from behind him, and in the sun, a three-legged golden crow was hibernating. Burning mountains and boiling seas, all in a single thought. Bang, 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 bang. The golden-haired youth's body was covered in flames, burning the volcanoes into nothingness. That's enough, Wuxia. When you were young, your village was raided by the demon clan. Your parents died in the mouths of the demon clan and were eaten alive. That's why you've spent your entire life killing the demon clan. Once the devil race is mentioned in front of you, you will be possessed and go crazy. Your battle prowess will soar. Keep your anger to yourself. Emperor of the Great Sun comforted. Southern Region. Fire Beacon Empire. Golden Throne Hall. The current Emperor of Fire Beacon Empire was enraged, and the mountains and rivers changed color. Unexpected. That Xiao Han actually sneaked into the group where I married Emohen, killed Nangongyi and took Emohen away. What a heinous crime. Even the 9 clans. Pass my imperial decree, that Xiao Han will be included in the list of the most wanted criminals of Fire Beacon Empire forever. Issue a bounty for Xiao Han in the entire southern region. There is no longer a place for him in the heavens and earth. Also, even if you dig 3 feet into the ground, you must find Emohen. Southern region. **** mountain range. Ancient vines accompanied old trees, small bridges and flowing water, beautiful winding mountains, winding and circling like a sleeping dragon. White clouds filled the air and red mist lingered. Mountain peaks poked out of the clouds, like hibiscus coming out of the water. Hall. The sect master stood on the peak of the mountain with his hands behind his back, looking far away. Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling stood behind the sect master with worried expressions. Sect master, this year's Devil Hero Trial competition will begin as scheduled. Junior brother Xiao Han is now wandering around the world, I don't know where he is now. Dong Fangqin sighed. Xiao Han is a very determined young man with good luck in his life. He doesn't seem to have the fate of dying young. Fang Ling thought for a moment. I just don't know. It's been nearly 2 years. To what extent has his cultivation improved? Is it enough to participate in this year's Devil Hero Trial competition, which has the highest mortality rate and the most difficulty in history? I heard that those old antiques of Devil Hero region will also participate in this competition. The competition will be very fierce and many young people will lose their lives. The young generation that came out of the Great Wilderness is not easy to deal with. It is said that in these few years the Great Wilderness has a very strong luck. Its luck is very strong and it has given birth to countless powerful youths. This time, it is like a dragon coming out of the deep sea. It will definitely stir up the mountains and rivers. Dong Fangqin also sighed. At this moment, the sect master's eyes that were full of anger suddenly shrank, and then he smiled slightly. Mingqiu is back. With Xiao Han. It turns out that Xiao Han has been missing for 2 years. He was taken away by Mingqiu. Interesting. Eldest senior brother is back. Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling were surprised and happy. Dong Fangqin's eyes flashed with hostility. Sect master. Last time in the Sunset Mountains those foreign devil heroes were aggressive. If eldest senior brother was there, none of them would have survived. This time, eldest senior brother is back. Let's find them and kill them all. Dongfang, it has been so many years. Your murderous nature is still so strong. Restrain yourself. The sect master smiled lightly. High up in the sky of the great wilderness mountain range, a divine bird let out a bird cry, circled a few times, and then dived towards the great wilderness mountain range. Xiao Han stood up directly and looked at the great wilderness mountain range. He felt as if a lifetime had passed and he couldn't help but roar. Great wilderness sect. A Xiao Han am back. Ah. I Xiaohan am no longer running away, I am back openly. Ah. Great Wilderness Sect. Outer Sect Mountain Peak. Cho was cultivating the withered tree collection in his courtyard. After cultivating for a while he stopped. His eyes were filled with worry as he muttered to himself. I wonder how Xiaohan is now. I heard that he is wanted by the entire country. Everyone is coveting the secrets on him. So, my good brother, you must hold on. Nothing must happen to you. Suddenly, I think I heard that kid's voice? Cho was stunned. He immediately jumped up and looked around, then looked at the sky. Xiao, the divine bird flew across the sky. Xiaohan. Xiaohan, my brother, just now, was it you who shouted? Are you back? Cho shouted with a trembling voice. The divine bird landed on the great wilderness mountain range. Sect Master, I haven't seen you for many years. You are still as elegant as before. Xiao Mingchu was no longer lazy and indifferent. At this moment, when he saw the Sect Master, his eyes were filled with respect. Mingchu, you are back. These years your cultivation has improved a lot. Stay for a few more days and give Dongfang and Fangling some pointers. The Sect Master smiled happily. Eldest senior brother. Dongfang Qin and Fangling flashed over and gently hugged Xiao Mingchu. The three of them looked at each other and laughed, radiating a strong brotherly love. Eldest senior brother, you have been away from the great wilderness for so many years, but you are still the same as before. I miss eldest senior brother all the time and recall the time when eldest senior brother brought me to kill the demon emperor. Ah. Dongfang Qin was extremely excited. Then, Sect Master, Dongfang senior brother, Fangling senior brother, Xiaohan is back. Xiaohan laughed at the side. Good boy. Dongfang Qin directly pounced over and gave Xiaohan a bear hug. I thought that you would be surrounded by countless demon heroes and die in such a bad situation. Unexpectedly, you are still alive. Ah. Not bad, not bad. You have grown a lot taller. Fangling also walked over and patted Xiaohan's shoulder. Xiaohan, you are very good. At this moment, Xiaohan was using the tortoise breathing style to completely seal his strength and aura. Even the aura of the demon emperor's palm tattoo on his left arm was perfectly sealed. Thus, Dongfang Qin and Fangling could not see through Xiaohan's current cultivation. Xiaohan. Sect Master looked at Xiaohan with admiration. It seems that you have made a lot of progress after following Mingchu for the past 2 years. Looking at your spirit and bearing, your sharpness is restrained. Not bad. Alright, release your cultivation and let me have a look. Dongfang Qin and Fangling also looked at Xiaohan curiously. Yes, Sect Master. Xiaohan's mind moved slightly. In the next moment, all the sealed true acupoints were opened. Boom. Divine light radiated and 28 five-pointed stars shining with treasure light appeared from Xiaohan's body. They wandered around like a dream. It was a spectacular sight. Good boy. Peak of the 3rd level true qi. Dongfang Qin cried out involuntarily. Fangling's eyes also showed a strange light. Great progress. You have made tremendous progress. Ah. There is something that will surprise you even more. All right. Junior brother Xiaohan, we are all on the same side. Don't hide it anymore. Completely release the seal on your body. Xiao Mingchu laughed. Yes. Xiaohan nodded. Gradually, an ancient aura began to spread out from Xiaohan's body. His hair fluttered without any wind. Wherever he stood, a hurricane swept up, sand and pebbles flew. His eyes were like a demon god's, tearing through the ages and thundering the 9 heavens. Kikik, Dongfang Qin's throat made an owl-like sound, but he was choked and couldn't say anything. He looked at Xiaohan with a dumbfounded expression. This is... Fangling's expression instantly changed. The Sect Master's pupils contracted. This, interesting, very interesting, bang. Xiaohan finally released all the seals on his body. A loud sound was heard and the whole mountain seemed to shake. The terrifying aura of a humanoid beast burst out from Xiaohan's body. Crack, crack, crack. A fake mountain a few zhang away began to crack. It was shattered by Xiaohan's aura. Ah, good. What a good Xiaohan. The Sect Master's eyes were as bright as stars. His aura changed from calm to gorgeous. Good. This time, my Pure Rain sect will compete with the other sects and the young generation of the Great Wilderness. We may not lose to them. But, to be continued. Chapter 128. Xiaohan completely released the seal of the tortoise breathing style, displaying the power of his flesh shell and his true acupoints, directly causing a tremor. Xidong Qin and Fang Ling were dumbfounded. Even the calm sect master was moved. A humanoid beast. Dong Qin exclaimed. Xiao. Junior brother Xiao Han, you are simply a humanoid beast? The power of your flesh shell is heaven-defying. You can almost be compared with the barbarians in the depths of the great wilderness who grew up drinking precious blood. That's great. In this case, even if it's the cruelest monster hero trial, junior brother Xiao Han is still very confident to stand out. Xiao Han. A few years ago you were still a live target that was bullied and beaten by the disciples, but now, you've improved by leaps and bounds. You are the outstanding true disciple of our pure cloud sect. The world changes, nothing can surpass this. Fang Ling sighed repeatedly. While Xiao Han seal your chi. The sect master's face was full of admiration. Yes. Xiao Han was not used to showing all his trump cards on the surface. He was becoming more and more fond of concealing his strength. Shocking the world with a single brilliant feat, the mist of the tortoise breathing style spread out and sealed the 28 true acupoints. The true chi rippled without a single leak. The power of the flesh shell and the violent chi of the great wilderness were also sealed well. Moreover, now that Xiao Han's true chi realm had improved, the quantity of true acupoints and true chi had also increased. The spirit turtle true chi became more and more proficient and profound. Even the demon god palm tattoo on his left arm was sealed tightly. The sect master looked at Xiao Han's left arm deeply and said indifferently. Not bad. Even the slightly throbbing demonic chi has been perfectly sealed. Ha! Xiao Han smiled. Suddenly he thought of something. The sect master is very powerful and seems to be able to sense the demon god palm tattoo on my left arm, but if I seal it with the spirit turtle true chi, the sect master might not be able to sense it. As for the demon egg hibernating in my heart, my current spirit turtle true chi is not enough to seal it. But the sect master did not sense it. The demon egg was hidden very well. Even a powerful figure like the sect master could not sense it. Only the demon clan had the innate ability to sense the demon egg. As long as the demon egg isn't sensed or detected, then it's all good. At least it won't be coveted by the entire world. Xiao Han knew very well that the demon egg was his most precious secret. It was even more precious than the demon Thearka's palm tattoo. Come Xiao Han. Ming Chu, you have been away from the sect for a long time, and I have often missed you. Come and sit with me for a while. The sect master's temperament was tranquil, and he did not put on any airs. He led Xiao Han and the others into a gazebo and sat down. Dong Qin and Fang Ling also sat down. A spirit crane carried an ancient tea set and steaming hot tea into the pavilion. Everyone took a cup of fragrant tea. Xiao Han took a sip of the tea and felt the fragrance filling his mouth, making him feel refreshed. Feeling extremely comfortable, Zhang Xian blurted out. Grandmaster, this is really good tea. Heh. These are tea leaves that my sect has gathered in a mystic realm. He was usually reluctant to take it out to drink. Ah. The sect master laughed heartily. The atmosphere was relaxed and harmonious. Early Ming. Have you told Xiao Han about the hex trial? The sect master took a sip of tea and asked. Yes, I have already told junior brother Xiao Han about the general situation and information. But sect master, you also know that in every hex hero tryouts, the hex hero will be the strongest. The topic is different. It has been many years since my time and there is not much reference value. Xiao Mingchu replied. Well. The sect master smiled and looked at Xiao Han. Xiao Han, I don't know the topic of this time's test. It is a top secret in the hands of a few powerful figures of the Hex Hero Tower. However, since this Hex trial is known as the most cruel and terrible in history, it must be very difficult. Combat power, realm, wisdom, keen insight into the demon clan, even teamwork ability, temperament, many aspects will definitely be involved. Xiao Han, your cultivation is not bad, but you must not take it lightly. This time there will be some demons cultivated by the old antiques of the Hex Hero region, and there will also be the younger generation in the depths of the wilderness. It will not be easy to deal with. I know, Xiao Han said solemnly. I will not be arrogant and conceited, nor will I belittle myself. There was some indescribable calmness in Xiao Han's temperament. He had cultivated his momentum step by step, and his mental level had reached a certain height which was very rare. Well? The sect master nodded with satisfaction. However, the quota for this time's hex trial has been announced. The quota has been announced? Xiao Mingchu, Dong Qin, and Fang Ling all looked at the sect master curiously. After the selection of the preliminaries, there will be about 5,000 to 10,000 young talents who will finally enter the official hex trial. Of course, the main venue of the Hex trial is in the Hex Hero region, but during the competition some other venues will be involved. The sect master explained. There will be so many people participating in the official Hex trial? Xiao Han was shocked. Ah, junior brother Xiao Han, it's only 10,000 people, which is actually not a big deal. Don't be surprised. Xiao Mingqiu laughed. Junior brother Xiao Han, the Beacon Fire Empire has a population of more than 10 billion, and the Blazing Sun Empire, which is adjacent to the Beacon Fire Empire, has a population of more than 20 billion. The entire southern region has 7 empires, 27 medium-sized countries, and countless small countries. It is very difficult to count the population, but there are hundreds of billions. The western region and the northern region are very bitter and cold. The demon clan is very rampant, almost unscrupulous, and there are even demon emperors in these two regions. Therefore, even if the western region and the northern region have a territory far larger than the southern region, the total population of the two regions is definitely less than the southern region. Dong Fangqin continued. However, the total population of the western region and the northern region is more than 100 billion, which is not a problem. Moreover, the martial artists who grew up in the bitter and cold places have been tempered since young, struggling between life and death, and their combat power should not be underestimated. Fang Ling also interrupted. The most prosperous of the 4 regions is the eastern region. The eastern region is strong and prosperous, and the number of sects and population is several times that of the southern region. Xiao Han listened with his eyes wide open. This world was too big and there were too many people. Speaking of which, the true Qi realm was a realm where one could ascend to the heavens in a single step, transcending mortality and entering sainthood. A large sect with tens of thousands of years of history, such as the Pure Rain sect, only had about 100 true disciples. Every true disciple was a treasure. But in the entire world there were many true Qi realm experts. After all, the population was so terrifying. Junior brother Xiao Han, are you shocked? The total population of the 4 regions. That is frightening, as many as the eternal sands. But compared to the great wilderness, it is nothing. Xiao Mingqiu had been in the great wilderness for many years, so he was more familiar with the situation of the great wilderness. The Great Desolation's territory is many times larger than the other 4 realms combined. In the great wilderness, there are tribes with tens of millions of people. They only belong to small tribes like sesame seeds or mung beans. Which of the truly powerful ancient tribes does not rule over tens of billions of people? It is equivalent to the empires of our 4 regions. Not to mention the ancient countries that stand in the great wilderness. I have heard of a Java country, with about 50 million years of history. Junior brother Xiao Han, guess how many people there are now? This? Xiao Han's scalp was numb. 50 million years of civilization and history? My God, this population is probably more than 100 billion? More than a trillion. Xiao Mingqiu said with certainty. Definitely more than a trillion people. There are many ancient countries similar to Java country, in the depths of the great wilderness. In that case, there are nearly 10,000 places in this year's Monster Hero trial. Not too much but too little? Xiao Han finally realized what was going on. There are too many monks and not enough gruel. There are too many monks and not enough gruel. Dong Fangqin frowned. I remember that when I participated in the Monster Hero trial, there were about 50,000 people who entered the main competition. Of course, the quality was definitely not as good as this year. There was even a little guy at the first level of True Qi who participated, but he was killed in the first round. Sect Master, these places are allocated. How are they allocated? Fang Ling asked. The Sect Master nodded. 5,000, 10,000 people participated in the official Monster Hero trial. But the number of people who signed up was far more than that. So before the main competition, there will be qualifiers. Compete for the main competition places. A total of 2,000 places were allocated in the 4 regions. The Monster Hero region has 100 places. The rest of the places were all won by the Great Wilderness. Ah? There are only 2,000 places in the 4 regions? Xiao Mingqiu was astonished. The sect master smiled indifferently. Yes, a total of 2,000 places. Among them, the East region has a vast territory with many sects and powerful empires. It has been recognized by the Monster Hero region and occupies 3/4 of the 2,000 places. In other words, the East region has 1,500 places. The remaining 500 places will be selected from the South, West, and North regions. This is too unreasonable. Dong Fangqin said indignantly. The East region monopolizes 1,500 places, and only 500 places are allocated to the other 3 regions. What is this? Dongfang, don't be anxious. In fact, the top management of the Monster Hero Tower, when deciding the places, went through a lot of consideration and evaluation. Indeed, the overall power of the East region is stronger than the other 3 regions. Historically speaking, the number of monster heroes born in the East region is also far greater than that of the other 3 regions. In addition, from a mysterious point of view, the luck of the East region is superior to that of the other 3 regions. Perhaps, in the future, the advantage of the East region will become greater and greater. This disciple admits that the East region is indeed strong, and that the Great Wilderness has obtained more than half of the places. It is really hard to understand. In the past, there were not many places in the Great Wilderness. Dongfang Qin muttered. In the past, the countries and clans of the Great Wilderness did not have much hope for the Monster Hero trial. They did not want to send their clansmen to die. But the peak of prosperity must fall, and the peak of decline must rise. In the past 5 years there have been many talents in the Great Wilderness, and some young geniuses have emerged like mushrooms after the rain. The sect master smiled lightly. Some people say that the luck of the entire true martial continent has gradually approached the Great Wilderness. I heard a patriarch of the Great Wilderness say that this year's Monster Hero trial is exclusive to the children of the Great Wilderness. The younger generation of the Great Wilderness will monopolize all the winning places. Ah! Sect Master, this is too arrogant. Looking at our 4 regions as if nothing. Feng Ling said proudly, the barbarians of the Great Wilderness are indeed tyrannical, but their perception and use of true Qi cultivation methods are not necessarily better than the people of our 4 regions. They are all monsters with simple brains and developed limbs. Dongfang Qin said disdainfully. Oh, for the time being, let's not comment on this. In short, there are too many people in the Great Wilderness. It is not surprising to give them the majority of the places. The sect master said lightly. Now let's get to the point. The number of places allocated to the South region, North region, and West region is 500. Among them, the North region and the West region each occupy 100 places. The entire South region occupies 300 places. In other words, the South region has 7 empires, 27 medium-sized countries, countless small countries, and hundreds of sections. The various royal families and rogue cultivators of the Jianghu have at least tens of thousands of people who meet the conditions to compete for 300 places. This is the qualifier. Xiaohan, do you have the confidence to compete for one of the 300 places? The sect master looked at Xiaohan with a smile. Sect master, this is just the qualifier. If this disciple does not have the confidence, how can I talk about the main competition? Xiaohan was very calm. He listened to the sect master Xiao Mingqiu and Dongfang Qin. After the conversation between Feng Ling and Feng Ling, he was a little surprised but definitely not afraid. Instead, his fighting spirit was rising and he was ready to make a move. The qualifier should not be a problem for junior brother Xiaohan. Get a place in the main competition. It is almost a done deal. Xiao Mingqiu said seriously. However, only 10,000 people will enter the main competition. After passing the qualifier, the 10,000 geniuses will be born. They must be abnormal and cannot be measured by common sense. It is no exaggeration. Almost all the 10,000 contestants are geniuses. There will be no weaklings. This year's Hex qualifier is very valuable. Feng Ling said concisely. Then let junior brother Xiaohan warm up first. Participate in the qualifier. Dongfang Qin was also interested. Junior brother Xiaohan in the South region qualifier. You will definitely shine. But remember to hold back, don't use all your trump cards. Thank you for the reminder, senior brother Dongfang. I understand. Xiaohan smiled. Well, Xiaohan, in this year's Hex qualifier. Are Pure Cloud sect apart from you? There were also 2 other true disciples participating in the battle. They are 28-year-old Han Shuetang and 24-year-old female disciple Hui Yang. The 3 of you will represent Pure Cloud sect and participate in the South region qualifier first. The sect master said seriously. Xiaohan, listen, I don't expect all 3 of you to pass the qualifier and get a place in the main competition. But you have to work hard. Spread the name of Pure Cloud sect. As for Han Shuetang and Hui Yang, they are both rebellious true disciples and geniuses. They have been practicing outside for years and have always had the upper hand. They have never suffered any setbacks, so it is inevitable that they are a little narcissistic. Xiaohan, you don't have to be friends with them, but don't stoop to their level. Do you understand? I still think the most highly of you, Xiaohan. Yes, sect master, I understand. Xiao Han nodded. He thought for a moment. Sect master, I will try not to hurt my fellow disciples. But I am a living target. Many disciples look down on me. If someone insults me again and again, I can't guarantee that I will be calm. You decide and weigh it yourself. I will not restrict you. But it is best not to kill your fellow disciples. The sect master smiled lightly. There is nothing wrong with the physical body realm, but the true disciples should not kill each other. There will be one less true disciple dead. Above the pure cloud mountain range, a man sat cross-legged in a cloud. He had dark skin, sharp eyebrows, and a wide mouth. There was a sharpness in his eyes as if he wanted to control everything. Light surged around him and yellow sand swirled around him. These were not ordinary grains of sand. Each grain of sand weighed 1,000 pounds. A young man in a snow-white robe stood there as he spoke non-stop. Junior Brother Han, you are the most talented person among the younger generation of our Pure Cloud sect. This time, you will represent Pure Cloud sect in the Hex Hero qualifier. There is no doubt that you will pass the qualifier and get a place in the main competition. Junior Martial Brother Han, your current achievements are all because of your saber and spear. You are not like someone who deceives the world and relies on flattery to gain the trust of the sect master and eldest martial brother. The white-robed man was Ziyu. Senior Brother Ziyu, who are you talking about? The man sitting cross-legged frowned slightly. Who else could it be other than Xiao Han? Ziyu licked his lips. Junior Brother Han, this Xiao Han is a despicable person who has achieved success. He is rebellious and has some extremely important secrets. Also, the royal family of the Beacon Fire Empire has issued a bounty for Xiao Han's capture. Junior Brother Han. The two of them whispered to each other in the clouds. I don't care what secrets he has, and I will not care about the Empire's bounty. The man sitting cross-legged waved his hand. However, I am already 28 years old. I cannot miss this year's Hex Hero qualifier. Otherwise, I will not have the chance to become a Hex Hero. I will regret it for the rest of my life. It is inevitable that I will get a place in the main competition. All of his competitors had to be eliminated, including my fellow disciples. That Xiao Han should keep a low profile and not jump around in front of me. That is fine, and I will not care about him. If he wants to rely on his connections and flattery to suppress me, then I will not tolerate him. In this world, strength is the most important thing. Flattery, and flattery to the sect master and eldest senior brother are not enough to get ahead. He is just a small fry. Senior Brother Ziyu, there is no need to say more. P.S. Thank you He Meng for your rewards and encouragement. Also thank you brothers for your support. Now, my monthly votes have exceeded 500 and I also owe some updates. Last night He Meng's reward I will add 3 chapters. In short, I will do my best to add on the basis of 2 chapters a day. This month, I will strive to make up for all the chapters 10. Let everyone enjoy watching. Chapter 129. Ziyu and Han Shuetang continued to talk in the clouds. Pei Mei's sinister plot was brewing in Ziyu's eyes as he incited Han Shuetang to make a move and teach Xiao Han a ruthless lesson and humiliation. This Han Shuetang was not very old, only 28 years old, but he was a genius. His cultivation was a level higher than Ziyu's, and he had been training outside all year round, so his battle strength was not bad. In fact, in a sand ruin in the western regions, he discovered an extremely powerful true Qi divine art, the 10,000 miles yellow sand art. It refined the origin true Qi into yellow sand. Each grain of yellow sand weighed 500 kilograms, and when a single grain of sand was thrown out, corpses would be buried for thousands of miles. It was no trivial matter. Among the 93 true disciples of the Pure Rain sect, Han Shuetang's attack power could be ranked above average. He was proud and arrogant, and he was determined to win the Hex Hero trial. However, Han Shuetang did not seem to be keen on taking the initiative to suppress Xiao Han. A proud and aloof person like him would never be manipulated by you. This Han Shuetang is really stubborn. Ziyu was dissatisfied. However, he didn't dare to act out. He just kept criticizing Xiao Han in Han Shuetang's ears, vilifying Xiao Han. In the Hall of Love. Alright Xiao Han, go and prepare yourself. You can rest in peace for a few days and clear your mind. The Southern Territory preliminaries were held in the Blazing Sun Empire. By now, numerous sects and sects of the Southern Domain, enchanting beauties of the Imperial family, and rogue cultivators of the Jianghu were all rushing toward the Empire of the Blazing Sun. I will personally bring you there. The sect master smiled and said. Blazing Sun Empire? Xiao Han frowned slightly. The Great Sun Son of Heaven is the famous fiend hero of the Blazing Sun Empire. When I was at the borders of the Blazing Sun Empire, I was once surrounded by the Great Sun Son of Heaven. I'm afraid. It's fine. This time I will accompany you to participate in the qualifiers. The Great Sun Son of Heaven wouldn't dare to mess around. The sect master laughed. Junior brother Xiao Han, I'll be watching the preliminaries as well. No matter what happens, the entire Pure Cloud sect will support you. You just have to give it your all and get into the main competition. Xiao Mingchu yawned. All right. Xiao Han nodded. Suddenly, he thought of something and his face turned slightly red. Sect Master, I wish to make a trip to the Valley of the Medicine Masters. The sect master was stunned. Junior brother Xiao Han, why did you go to Medicine King Valley for no reason? Xiao Mingchu asked with a smile. Xiao Han was getting more and more embarrassed as he mumbled. There are some personal matters. Dongfang Qin, who was standing at the side, laughed out loud. Junior brother, I'm afraid it's something between a man and a woman, right? Tell me, which female disciple of the Medicine King Valley caught your eye? This. Xiao Han's face turned red. Xiao Han. Martial artists did not bother with trifles. Go ahead. The sect leader smiled. Xiao Han gritted his teeth and said, Sect Master, Senior Brothers, these are two female outer court disciples of Medicine King's Valley. He and Xiao Han were fated to meet before. The two female disciples who went to the Setting Sun Mountain Range last time were forced to marry into the Beacon Fire Empire's royal family. Later on, the two true Qi realm experts of Medicine King Valley agreed to give me 2 years. Within these 2 years they would not marry Shi Rong and Yan Shui into the royal family, giving me some face. Now 2 years had passed. I am afraid that something will go wrong. I do not want Shi Rong and Yan Shui to marry into the royal family, they are not willing. Shi Rong? Yan Shui? The name is excellent. The sect master looked at Xiao Han with a smile that was not a smile. She should be a very beautiful woman? It's passable. Xiao Han chuckled. Good Xiao Han flirting everywhere. Xiao Mingchu joked. Little Princess Mo Hen is waiting for you in the ancient village. There is also a female disciple of Mingjian Villa in the Xiao family, I have seen her. Fang Ling also interrupted. Xiao Han, it seems that you have not only advanced by leaps and bounds in martial Dao, but also in other aspects. Not bad at all. Well Xiao Han, you don't have to go to Medicine King Valley. Rest well. Medicine King Valley is also participating in this year's qualifier. Old Man Gong's son will personally bring his disciples to participate. At that time I will arrange this marriage for you. The sect master smiled. Xiao Han, don't worry. I still have some face. However, Medicine King Valley has a great advantage in this matter. 2 female disciples of the outer sect will be matched with the youngest true Qi realm martial artist of our Pure Cloud sect, the future evil hero. Old Man Gong's son will wake up laughing even when he is asleep. The sect master also joked. Xiao Mingchu, Dongfang Qin and Fang Ling laughed at the same time. Xiao Han was embarrassed and expectant at the same time. When he thought of Jing Yanshui and Lan Shirong, he felt sweet and indescribably comfortable. All right, you can all leave. The sect master smiled and waved his hand. Xiao Han, Xiao Mingchu, Dongfang Qin, and Fang Ling left the Pure Cloud Palace while talking and laughing. The 4 of them flew to another mountain peak adjacent to the Pure Cloud Peak and were about to go their separate ways. At this time, high up in the sky, amidst the clouds and mist, Xiao Han is back. Ziyu glanced around and immediately found Xiao Han. He is still alive after being wanted by the whole country. What a good luck. However, in the past 2 years, his cultivation did not improve at all. A mediocre person will always be mediocre. Back then this kid was lucky and had a fortuitous encounter. He was infused with vital energy by the ancient people. When he returned to the sect, he cheated and killed Shui Jianfeng. If Shui Jianfeng did not die, he would have reached the true Qi realm today. He would not be worse than Xiao Han. Shui Jianfeng was a genius who had comprehended sword intent. Once he stepped into the true Qi realm, he would have a bright future. He might even have a chance to participate in the Hex Hero trial. But he died in the hands of Xiao Han. Hateful. 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 He said hateful 3 times. Ziyu was enraged to the extreme. He was gnashing his teeth in anger. Shui Jianfeng was Ziyu's trusted aide. He had spent a lot of effort to cultivate him. He was about to reach the true Qi realm, but he was killed by Xiao Han. All his efforts were in vain. Ziyu could not swallow this anger and swore to take revenge. A super genius died early. A bootlicker is actually alive and kicking here. It's really unfair. Ziyu's face was completely gloomy. Look, junior brother Han. That's Xiao Han. He's walking with eldest senior brother and the rest. His aura is ordinary. I don't know how he managed to win over eldest senior brother, second senior brother and third senior brother. He's a complete villain. Oh. Han Shuetang, who was sitting cross-legged on the clouds. With a sweep of his divine telekinesis, he immediately saw through Xiao Han's condition. His expression changed instantly. This is Xiao Han? A complete good-for-nothing. A mediocre talent. Such a person is representing the pure cloud sect in the Hex Hero trial? Ridiculous. I heard from the sect leader that there are 3 people representing the pure cloud sect in the southern region qualifier. Besides she, there's also Huodi. Huodi is also quite a character. His battle strength is almost on par with mine. Who is the last one? Could it be this Xiao Han? How can such a mediocre person be on my team? Yes. He's just a mediocre person. Ziyu looked at Han Shuetang's expression and saw that she was furious. He was overjoyed. He egged him on. Let's go, junior brother Han. Let's go find him. With that, Ziyu's body glowed and he turned into a fire dragon, charging down. Han Shuetang's body moved slightly. Yellow sand spread for thousands of miles. Like rolling thunder, it also rushed down. Eldest senior brother Dongfang, senior brother Fang. Then this little brother will temporarily part ways with the 3 big brothers. This little brother is going to make a trip to the outer sect mountain peak. My brother, Acho, is an outer sect disciple of the pure cloud sect. I haven't met up with senior brother Acho in a long time. I miss him a lot. I'll take this opportunity to play with senior brother Acho. Xiao Han looked relaxed. During the time when the qualifier was about to begin, Xiao Han wanted to relax as much as possible. He wanted to adjust his essence, chi, spirit and flesh to the best state. Alright Xiao Han, you can go play by yourself. But don't leave the pure cloud mountain range. You have a big secret. Many Hex heroes are thinking about you and are wanted throughout the country, Xiao Mingchu said lazily. At this moment, Xiao Han. A loud roar was like thunder. In the next moment, Ziyu had already descended on this mountain peak. He looked at Xiao Han with a gloomy face. His eyes flickered with endless hatred and disgust. Xiao Han, you're really lucky. You're still alive. After saying that, his tone changed. He said to Xiao Mingchu in an ingratiating manner, eldest senior brother, you're back. I haven't seen you for so many years. You're still as elegant as ever. Ziyu? Xiao Mingchu was very lazy. It's been so many years, but you're still at the 3rd stage of true chi. You haven't made any progress. What? Is there a grudge between you and Xiao Han? Being ridiculed by Xiao Mingchu, Ziyu's face turned red. But he didn't dare to say anything. As a result, his anger was completely vented on Xiao Han. Eldest senior brother, Xiao Han is a despicable person. He killed an outer sect disciple that I nurtured in front of me. That outer sect disciple, Shui Jianfeng, if he didn't die, he should be participating in the southern region qualifier now. Damn it. You're Xiao Han? Han Shuetang also walked over with an extraordinary aura. He looked at Xiao Han with disdain and disdain. You're also a true disciple? But I can see that your foundation is ordinary. I don't know what you relied on to become a true disciple. But you must remember, in the world of martial artists, evil means will not work. If you don't have enough strength, you'll die sooner or later. This is my advice to you. After saying that, he looked at Xiao Mingchu. This is eldest senior brother, right? I'm Han Shuetang. When I became a true disciple, eldest senior brother was training outside. Thus this is my first time meeting eldest senior brother. Nice to meet you, eldest senior brother. Nice to meet you, second senior brother, third senior brother. His tone did not seem very respectful towards Xiao Mingchu. Han Shuetang was only 28 years old this year. He only opened his true meridian 10 years ago and became a true disciple. At that time, Xiao Mingchu had already become famous. He left the sect to train in the great wilderness. Thus Han Shuetang really did not know this eldest senior brother. He had never seen this eldest senior brother's domineering methods. Ah! Xiao Mingchu suddenly laughed. Who is that? Han, what's his name? Eldest senior brother, this is junior brother Han Shuetang, a true disciple who rose after you went to the great wilderness. He's not even 30 years old and is considered a genius. He's participating in the Southern Region qualifier to compete for a place in the Hex Hero trial. Dong Fangqin explained. Immediately, Dong Fangqin said sternly. Junior brother Han Shuiting. You're usually arrogant and unruly. That's fine, but you're disrespectful to our eldest senior brother. Do you really think that you're someone important? All right, Dong Fang, don't question him. Young people with some talent will naturally be frivolous. I was like that back then too. However, you need to have the capital to be arrogant. Xiao Mingchu's aura was not fierce. He looked at Han Shuiteng lazily for a moment, then shook his head and sighed. Han Shuiteng's expression changed slightly as he cupped his hands. Eldest senior brother, second senior brother, third senior brother, you're all hex heroes with higher cultivation and combat strength than me. I respect you three senior brothers very much. However, the true age of the three senior brothers is already over 100 years old, and this little brother is only 28 years old. Speaking of which, the three senior brothers must not be angry. If this little brother had also cultivated to 100 years old, I might not necessarily lose to the three senior brothers. Sigh. I've been away from the sect for more than 10 years. I didn't expect that our Pure Rain sect would have such a character. There wasn't such an arrogant disciple in the past. Xiao Mingchu's eyes finally flashed with anger. He patted Xiao Han's shoulder. Xiao Han, I'm a little unhappy now. Do as you see fit. Eldest senior brother, but sect master said that harmony is the most important between true disciples. Xiao Han deliberately sighed. Xiao Han, I'm old. It's not right to fight with this kind of junior brother. You Xiao Han are different. You're only a teenager and are of the same generation as them. Xiao Mingchu hugged Xiao Han's shoulder and whispered. Beat them up. Beat them to death or cripple them. If sect master asks, I'll take the blame for you. Xiao Han laughed involuntarily. It seemed that eldest senior brother was really angry today. What kind of person was eldest senior brother? He sealed the demon emperor for 10 years with a single arrow and made the great son of heaven, a super demon, scram. If such a person was angry, the consequences would be very serious. Dong Fangqin and Fang Ling looked at each other and laughed. Eldest senior brother's personality is indeed much gentler now. If it was more than 10 years ago, I'm afraid someone would have already seen blood. Dong Fangqin muttered. This Han Shuiteng is very cunning. He first used words to mock us, saying that we're 100 years old so that we won't bully the young. Fang Ling's eyelids twitched slightly. That. Xiao Han took a step forward. Senior brother Ziyu, right? This is senior brother Han, right? We're all true disciples of the Pure Rain sect. Harmony is the most important. Xiao Han. You shut up. You're just a bootlicker. If it wasn't for sect master protecting you, you would have died in the Sunset Mountain Range. Someone like you dares to speak out? Oh, I saw that you came back with eldest senior brother. I know you've been relying on eldest senior brother for the past 2 years. That's why you have the chance to be alive and kicking here. If it wasn't for eldest senior brother, your bones would have turned cold. Ziyu said sternly. Han Shuiteng sneered. Xiao Han, you're also going to participate in the Southern Region qualifier? Yes, I want to go too. There's also senior sister Hua with senior brother Han, right? Xiao Han smiled innocently. You don't have to go. It'll be embarrassing if you go. Han Shuiteng waved his hand. Go to the qualifier and fight against the geniuses of other sections. Swords have no eyes. At that time, sect master and eldest senior brother won't stand up for you. That's true. Xiao Han nodded seriously and immediately frowned. Senior brother Han, your aura is very sharp and your character is arrogant. It's fine if you insult me, Xiao Han, but how dare you jump around in front of eldest senior brother? You're courting death, do you know that? Eldest senior brother, you said that you'll help me, right? Xiao Han turned to look at Xiao Mingchu. Of course. Xiao Mingchu said impatiently. Clean up. Cripple them for me. Huh? Xiao Han nodded. He then said sternly. Kneel down now and apologize to eldest senior brother. Behave yourself in the Pure Rain sect. What genius. T. I'll crush you with one hand. Do you believe me? If it wasn't for sect master's reminder, do you think you can still stand here and talk? Chapter 130. Xiao Han cursed at Han Shuiteng and Ziyu. He said that he would crush them with one hand. Boom. Han Shuiteng and Ziyu's faces flushed red. All the blood in their bodies rushed to their faces. Their eyes were about to pop out of their sockets as they trembled madly, true qi surging through their bodies. If not for the fact that Xiao Mingchu and the others were present and that the sect strictly forbade personal fights, the two of them would have rushed up and dismembered Xiao Han. The corner of Xiao Han's mouth twitched and his eyelids twitched. His face was filled with arrogance and provocation as well as deep disdain. Ziyu's body had 25 pentagonal true acupoints, each of which had the power to set a prairie ablaze. His realm was the same as Xiao Han's level 3 true qi. But Xiao Han had opened 28 true acupoints and cultivated 2 true qi cultivation techniques. In terms of true qi realm, Ziyu was no match for Xiao Han. Moreover, Ziyu was no demon. He was just an ordinary true qi realm cultivator, not even worth mentioning. As for Han Shuetang, as the representative of Pure Cloud sect to participate in the Southern Region qualifier, he was arrogant and condescending. Naturally, he had some ability. He had 32 true acupoints in his body, indicating that he was at level 4 true qi. The true qi divine art he cultivated was several times stronger than Ziyu's fire attribute true qi divine art. However, for the current Xiao Han, a person of this level was indeed not enough. Han Shuetang, right? Suddenly Xiao Han looked at Han Shuetang seriously. With your cultivation level, you are indeed a genius in Pure Cloud sect. You are not even 30 years old and have reached level 4 true qi. Also, the true qi cultivation technique you cultivate makes me feel the aura of the desert. Uncanny craftsmanship. But you are not so arrogant and condescending, right? To put it bluntly, you might just be cannon fodder in the Southern Region qualifier. It's hard to say if you can even get a place in the main competition. Nonsense. Han Shuetang roared, his whole body trembling. His anger burned and his aura filled the sky. Yellow sand surged up from his head and rolled around. Xiao Han, you are just relying on the power of eldest senior brother and the others. Who do you think you are? How dare you criticize me? You are just a dog relying on its master's power. Xiao Han's expression changed. Looks like today, even if I have to risk being punished by the sect leader, I will still cripple you. Eldest senior brother. Second senior brother, third senior brother. Xiao Han and I can be said to be irreconcilable. What do you say? You want to protect him? Han Shuetang gritted her teeth. Tsk tisk. Xiao Mingqiu shook his head. Don't worry. Xiao Han is more than enough to deal with you. It's impossible for the 3 of us to act. All right. Since the 3 senior brothers didn't want to interfere, then everything would be fine. Xiao Han. Today, I want to teach you a lesson. Han Shuetang pointed at Xiao Han. Just then, what are you all arguing about here? A pleasant female voice rang out. A tall purple-robed lady with bright eyes and white teeth walked over. She looked to be around 22 or 23 years old. She was very beautiful and had fair skin. It was so fragile. The tips of her eyebrows and the corners of her eyes were valiant and formidable. The Jinchi behind him formed a continuous stretch of green mountains, towering and majestic. Oh, eldest senior brother. Second brother, third brother, you're all here? Hua Fan greets the 3 senior brothers. The lady bowed slightly. Then she looked at Han Shuetang. Senior brother Han, senior brother Ziyu. You're here too? Senior brother Han, who are you arguing with? Finally, Hua Fan looked at Xiao Han's face. Her eyes moved slightly as she blurted out. Little junior brother, you're Xiao Han, right? The Xiao Han who was in the limelight at the setting sun mountain range and obtained the North Profound Demon Emperor crystal? Xiao Han said in a neither servile nor overbearing manner. Senior sister, this little brother is Xiao Han. Hua Wu nodded. Hello, junior brother Xiao Han. This time, we are going to the Blazing Sun Empire to participate in the Southern Region qualifiers and fight for a spot in the main competition. Other than me and senior brother Han, the last person is probably junior brother Xiao Han, right? In these 2 years, junior brother Xiao Han has been wanted in the Beacon Fire Empire and even the entire Southern Region. Countless demons have been dispatched to capture junior brother Xiao Han. But junior brother Xiao Han still returned to the sect unscathed. Just based on this point, Hua Fan was very impressed. Junior brother Xiao Han must have astonishing methods and wisdom. Only then can he contend with the demons of the world. Junior sister Hua, this kid isn't as powerful and extraordinary as you say. He's just a bootlicker who hid under eldest senior brother's wings for 2 years. Ziyu's face was gloomy. Hua Fan looked deeply at Xiao Han when she heard this. She realized that there was not a single trace of true qi in Xiao Han's body. His eyes were as deep as an ancient well, unfathomable. For a moment, she was filled with suspicion and curiosity towards Xiao Han. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Not long after, a dozen or so true disciples sensed the tension and ran over to watch the show. Xiao Han realized that the middle-aged man who had led him into the outer sect was also here. His face was like jade and his temperament was noble. "Hi, senior brother." Xiao Han smiled and waved at the middle-aged man. "You still remember me, right?" The middle-aged man looked at Xiao Han and said in surprise, "It's you? It's you? You're the Xiao Han who has been in the limelight in recent years? Unbelievable. I still remember that you were just a live target. You had a fortuitous encounter and consumed a red radish immortal fruit. That was how you were able to become an outer sect disciple. Now you've become a true disciple. TSK. Impressive. Very impressive. Senior brother, you're also very impressive. You've opened 42 true acupoints and reached the 5th stage of true qi." Xiao Han was very polite to the middle-aged man. After all, he was Xiao Han's guide. Not long after, another dozen or so true disciples flew over. In an instant, the mountain was bustling with activity. After the true disciples saw Xiao Mingqiu and the others, they began to discuss among themselves. "That's Xiao Han, the young man who was favored by the sect leader. His fortuitous encounter is no small matter. However, it seems to be nothing special at all. Last time he tried to kill the North Mystic Demon Monarch at the Setting Sun Mountain Range, but he escaped with severe injuries. I didn't expect him to survive. Look, that's Han Shuadeng. He's only 28 years old, but he's already developed a powerful aura. He might become another great hero of our sect in the future." There was a quarrel just now. It seems that Xiao Han had a quarrel with Han Shuadeng. This Xiao Han is also a troublemaker. He's restless. As soon as he returned to the sect, he started a quarrel with Han Shuadeng. I heard that Han Shuadeng cultivates the 10,000 miles yellow sand technique. He can tear the sky apart with just a slight move. His aura can swallow mountains and rivers, and he can dominate the world. He's not to be underestimated. If they really fight, Xiao Han definitely can't defeat Han Shuadeng. They can't fight. At most they'll just quarrel. If true disciples want to kill each other, they must get the sect leader's permission. At this moment, Fang Ling suddenly said, "Xiao Han, Han Shuadeng. If the two of you shed all pretense of cordiality and want to kill each other, you can't fight here." He had to ask the sect master for permission before he could decide the winner on the stage. However, the sect leader has been busy with the monster hero preliminaries these few days. I'm afraid he doesn't have time to care about this. Fortunately, eldest senior brother is here. In our sect, apart from the sect leader, eldest senior brother is the leader. Eldest senior brother's words are the same as the sect leader's. If you want to fight, ask for permission from eldest senior brother. After saying that, Fang Ling winked at Xiao Mingqiu. "Well, let's fight. Get in the arena," Xiao Mingqiu said pretentiously. He then said to the many true disciples who were watching, "Junior brothers and junior sisters, go and watch the fight. We haven't sparred with true disciples for a long time. Junior brother Xiao Han and Han Shuetang are the youngest true disciples of our Pure Cloud sect. Let's see who's better between them. Who's better?" Hearing that Xiao Han and Han Shuetang were going to fight and that eldest senior brother had agreed, many true disciples cheered loudly. "Xiao Han, get in the arena if you have the guts," Han Shuetang said with a sinister smile. "Once you're in the arena, I want you to fall in a breath's time. I'm going to cripple you." Xiao Han also laughed. The atmosphere was tense. Therefore, the two of them were surrounded by a large group of true disciples and went to a nearby mountain with an arena. Ziyu smiled sinisterly at the back. "Junior brother Fang, you want to give junior brother Xiao Han a chance to establish his dominance, right?" Xiao Mingqiu said with a smile as he walked. "Yes. Eldest senior brother, ever since Xiao Han became a true disciple, he has been criticized by others for being a villain. In fact, among all the true disciples besides the few of us, there seems to be no one else who recognizes Xiao Han. Xiao Han needs a chance to establish his dominance and gain everyone's recognition." Fang Ling said slowly. "It's best to beat Han Shuadeng up." Dong Fangqin muttered at the side. "Eldest senior brother, if you show up, the sect master will not be able to punish you." A large group of people came to a mountain with an arena. Xiao Han jumped onto the arena and stretched his muscles. Han Shuetang's eyes were filled with murderous intent. He moved and was about to step onto the arena. "Wait." Ziyu moved his body and blocked Han Shuetang. "Junior brother Han, I have a feud with Xiao Han. This time let me teach Xiao Han a lesson first. Don't worry, I will only teach this kid a lesson. Later, junior brother Han, you will deal a heavy blow and give him a memorable lesson." Han Shuetang's face was filled with displeasure, but he did not say much and waved his hand. "Senior brother Ziyu, please. Remember, don't hurt him. Leave him to me. Today we will take turns to humiliate this guy and let him know the immensity of heaven and earth. Boom. Ziyu jumped onto the arena. Xiao Mingchu, Dongfang Qin and Fang Ling watched from below and did not stop him. Why did you come up here? Xiao Han was stunned. Xiao Han, we will settle the score with Shui Jianfeng today. Ziyu's eyes were filled with uncontrollable murderous intent and resentment. Do you know how much energy I spent on Shui Jianfeng? You idiot. You actually destroyed Shui Jianfeng. You have angered me. Our Pure Rain sect has a rule that true disciples are not allowed to fight privately. Even going onto the arena requires the approval of the sect master and eldest senior brother. However, once you are on the arena, you will be beaten to death or crippled without mercy. You can only blame yourself for being inferior. Since eldest senior brother has personally agreed for you to go onto the arena, then I do not need to worry. Even if I cripple you, the sect master will not punish me. Ha! Cut the crap. Since you want to humiliate yourself, then I will fulfill your wish. One move. Xiao Han sneered. What one move? Xiao Han, what nonsense are you talking about? Ziyu was stunned. I said to deal with people like you, one move is enough. Xiao Han licked his lips. As soon as he said that, a large group of true disciples who were watching the battle burst into laughter. Wei Yang also smiled. Although Ziyu's cultivation was not good, it was not easy to defeat him in one move. Courting death. Ziyu was enraged. In an instant his entire body was engulfed in flames. He stretched out his right hand and spread open his 5 fingers. 5 raging flames shot out, causing the temperature of the entire arena to soar. These 5 flames could melt gold and iron, burn mountains and boil seas. In an instant they transformed into 5 roaring fire dragons. Each fire dragon was 10 feet long and spewed raging flames. These 5 fire dragons were formed from Ziyu's natal true qi, and their temperature could not be compared to ordinary flames. There were even faint traces of talismans in these flames, and the temperature was several times hotter than magma. The 5 fire dragons were about to entangle Xiao Han and burn him to ashes. 5 Dragon Divine Fire Kill. What? Ziyu is so ruthless? Did he use his trump card right from the start? Does he want to kill Xiao Han in one move? What kind of hatred do they have between them? There was discussion below the arena. Child's play. Xiao Han sneered. Suddenly, his whole body shone with golden light. Brilliant golden light spread out, covering a radius of several feet. Dense bone inscriptions flashed in the light, and obscure Sanskrit chants and Zen chants rang out. Xiao Han directly released half of his physical strength. He also used the indestructible golden body. In an instant, Xiao Han's aura rose steadily, covering the sky and earth. A strong will to fight and the conviction to win rolled out from Xiao Han's body like a tide. His hair moved without any wind. In the eyes of the audience, his body seemed to suddenly become larger, giving the illusion that he could cover the sky. He was like a demon god. It was like an ancient giant beast had awakened. With Xiao Han's body as the center, a series of terrifying tornadoes swept out, causing the 5 fire dragons to sway. His speed slowed down. Terrifying physical strength surged in Xiao Han's body, giving off the sound of thousands of soldiers and horses fighting on the battlefield, the sound of thousands of beasts galloping. The next moment, boom! Xiao Han's body moved, and in less than half a breath's time, he rushed in front of Ziyu, his right palm directly striking out. This palm seemed to even blow up the air around Ziyu's body. Like a meteor falling to the ground. Like a meteorite. Bang! Ziyu was slapped to the ground. His teeth were smashed into pieces, and half of his face was directly embedded in the arena. His whole body was twitching, spitting out blood, convulsing and trembling. His feces and urine gushed out together. He's a complete piece of trash. You still dare to jump out and fight with me? Xiao Han sneered. In fact, the moment he hit Ziyu, Xiao Han had already retracted most of his strength, only causing Ziyu to faint. If he had attacked with all his strength, Ziyu would have exploded long ago. There was dead silence below the arena. Han Shuitang couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva as he stared at Xiao Han. You come up. Xiao Han pointed at Han Shuitang, his face full of smiles. I said I would cripple you and I will not go back on my word. Chapter 131. Xiao Han sent the arrogant Ziyu tumbling to the ground with a single slap. He then challenged Han Shuitang. The scene was instantly stunned. All the true disciples looked at each other in dismay. A strange light flashed across the female disciple Huo Wu's beautiful eyes as she looked at Xiao Han with disbelief and interest. She seemed to want to see through Xiao Han. This is the power of pure flesh. Xiao Han only used the power of his flesh to defeat Ziyu. He didn't even use a trace of true qi. His body is invincible. He is like a beast in human form, full of vigor and vitality. He is like a barbarian from the great wilderness. I don't know what bloodline this Xiao Han has. I'm afraid it's a special bloodline of an ancient species. Otherwise, it's impossible for him to have such a strong body. Instead, his body will explode. What a freak. But on the path of martial arts, flesh is the end of the road. Cultivating true qi is the orthodox way. I'm afraid this Xiao Han has gone astray. He's neglecting the essentials. Tsk, are you guys jealous? After the shock, there was a lot of discussion below the stage. Dong Fangqin grabbed Ziyu, who had fainted, from the arena. While treating Ziyu, he shook his head and laughed. Junior brother Xiao Han's flesh is really domineering. Eldest senior brother, it seems that you've brought junior brother Xiao Han to the great wilderness to temper himself. Ziyu has always been arrogant. After this setback, I hope he will restrain himself in the future. Fortunately, junior brother Xiao Han showed mercy. Otherwise, how could Ziyu still be alive? Han Shuetang was shocked for a few breaths, but he quickly recovered from the panic. The corner of his mouth twitched a few times. He then walked directly to the stage. Han Shuetang had opened 32 acupoints and was at the 4th level of true qi. His realm was higher than Ziyu's, and the true qi cultivation technique he cultivated was the 10,000 miles yellow sand technique. It was very domineering and could subdue demons. It was a supreme true qi cultivation technique. As soon as he got on the stage, Han Shuetang pushed his aura to the peak. His whole body was rolling with true qi and yellow sand. As his body moved, the yellow sand formed a sand dragon. Sand tiger, sand dragon. Strange phenomena appeared, covering the sky. He could even create some mirages. Behind Han Shuetang, a sand sculpture that was several acres in size slowly rose up. It was a lion crouching in the void, but its head was a human face. The sound of a flute could be heard in the arena. Boundless air currents. The pressure bore down on Xiao Han. The air seemed to shrink, sand and pebbles flew everywhere, and the sun and moon seemed to dim. Buff, buff, buff. Grains of yellow sand fell on the arena. Craters appeared on the ground. In an instant, the entire arena was filled with potholes. It was a horrifying sight. Xiao Han. Looks like I underestimated you. Senior brother Ziyu is spouting nonsense. Just tell me that you're just a bootlicker. It seemed that senior brother Ziyu was deceived by you. But it's nothing. Although your flesh shell is strong, it's useless against me. Even the barbarians who came from the depths of the great wilderness. Although he was born with a body of flesh, when he encountered a true qi realm expert, it would also end with a grievance. Xiao Han, this is the end. Your arrogance will be completely obliterated by me. Han Shuetang looked at Xiao Han coldly. He was very confident in his true qi cultivation method. You probably don't know, but when I roamed the Jianghu, I met a 5th-level true qi rogue cultivator in the western region, and he was instantly killed by me. Challenging someone of a higher level is very normal for me. Ha! Xiao Han grinned, his body did not move, and he did not release the seal on his true meridian. Rays of golden light flowed on every inch of his flesh, and profound bone texts were constantly rearranging themselves. Obliterate. Suddenly, Han Shuetang's body moved slightly, and a huge sandstorm directly erupted from his body. The sky turned dark and the earth turned dark, ghosts wailed and wolves howled. It rotated continuously, and in an instant, it moved in front of Xiao Han. This sandstorm was formed by countless tiny grains of sand, and every grain of sand was like a millstone, constantly crushing the air, making a gagaga sound. Moreover, as the sandstorm rotated, it produced a kind of strangling power, forcibly tearing apart the world, destroying all living things. It was extremely terrifying. In one move, Xiao Han was directly swallowed by this sandstorm. Swallowed? Xiao Han has been swallowed. His whole body was trapped in the sandstorm. This is extremely dangerous. Oh no. Why didn't Xiao Han dodge? This Han Shuetang is indeed good at scheming. As soon as he got on the stage, he chattered. In reality, he took advantage of the time he was talking to gather all the true qi and cultivation method in his body, to the most intense and terrifying degree. The sandstorm instantly struck out, not giving Xiao Han any chance to react. Savage. Junior brother Han Shuetang is much stronger than junior brother Ziyu, worthy of being a talent that has been tempered in the Jianghu for a long time. It seems that junior brother Xiao Han's battle experience is too shallow, and gave Han Shuitang too many chances. He shouldn't have listened to so much nonsense from Han Shuitang. He should have attacked directly from the start. Goo goo, goo goo, goo goo. The sandstorm raged wildly. The ground of the stage where Xiao Han was directly cracked, and huge rocks floated in the air, then were sucked in by the sandstorm and torn to pieces. In the sandstorm, one could vaguely see a sand dragon rolling, its aura sharp and fierce, shattering the sky. As for Xiao Han, there was no sound. Huo Wu frowned slightly. She thought to herself, senior brother Han's battle strength is indeed peerless. If it were me, this 10,000 miles yellow sand technique, it would be difficult for me to block it. Unless I directly use my trump card, then I might be able to resist it. I wonder if junior brother Xiao Han's body can withstand it. Ha ha ha. Grind you to death. My 10,000 miles yellow sand technique, every grain of sand has the force of 1,000 pounds. When millions of grains of sand grind together, no matter how strong the body is, it will be ground to pieces. Ah! Even a high-level demon general can't withstand it. Han Shuitang finally laughed loudly, as if he was certain that he could defeat Xiao Han. Xiao Mingchu lazily yawned and muttered. What is Xiao Han playing at? Is it very fun? Fong Ling said seriously. Eldest senior brother Han Shuitang's 10,000 miles yellow sand technique is indeed an extremely high-quality true qi technique. However, he has only comprehended a small part of it. If a true expert were to execute this technique, it would have the power to destroy the world. At this moment, at the core of the sandstorm, Xiao Han did not move an inch. His entire body was emitting a golden light, and he released half of his physical strength while resisting the sandstorm's grinding. At the same time he was savoring it. Bang, 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 bang. The golden light emitted by the indestructible golden body and Xiao Han's pure body rubbed against the violent rotation of the sand, producing continuous explosions. The quality of this true qi technique is indeed not bad. Also, eldest senior brother had said that powerful true qi cultivation techniques could directly generate power. This Han Shuitang. Logically speaking, with 32 true acupoints opened, each true acupoint should be able to store around 1,000 ding of strength, which was the strength of his jinqi. His true qi power is only tens of thousands ding. However, the power of this 10,000 miles yellow sand technique is far more than just tens of thousands ding. Xiao Han was neither fast nor slow. He was actually evaluating Han Shuitang's combat strength. I released half of my body's strength and it's just enough to withstand the sandstorm without being injured. However, it's still lacking a little to make the sandstorm collapse. Xiao Han nodded slightly. Add another 10% of my strength. Within a breath, Xiao Han's aura was rising. His body's strength reached 60%. As his body's strength increased, so did his indestructible golden body. Tens of thousands of rays of golden light spread out. Wisps of golden clouds. They were like sharp swords that rolled like a dream and pierced through the sandstorm. Break! Xiao Han punched out. The pure body's strength produced an airflow that penetrated the entire arena. It was as if a heavenly demon was rampaging about, or a savage beast possessed. Their attacks caused the sand and soil to roll up, and pieces of sand were scattered and fell onto the arena like a plate of loose sand. Bang, 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 bang. Xiao Han swung his fists continuously. Each punch exploded the air and produced the sound of a hammer hitting a steel plate. The sandstorm began to explode. What? Han Shuitang was stunned. Originally, his true energy sandstorm had completely trapped Xiao Han. As long as he continued to grind, sooner or later Xiao Han's body's defense would be destroyed. Unexpectedly, in the blink of an eye, the true energy sandstorm became unstable and began to collapse. The next moment, bang! A gust of wind from his fist destroyed a large area of sand. Xiao Han stepped out from the sandstorm, tall and imposing. His aura was overflowing, and his entire body was shrouded in resplendent golden multicolored light. Dense and cryptic bone texts blossomed like lotus flowers, and ancient and desolate chanting resounded everywhere. It was like the sound of gods, dignified and mysterious. What? He's actually unscathed? Gasps could be heard from below the stage. In the blink of an eye. Piak. Xiao Han's body flickered and he directly jumped in front of Han Shuitang, slapping him. Wind and thunder rose. Bang. Han Shuitang's body was directly slapped into the air, somersaulted in midair, and fell heavily to the ground. Just like Sir Ziyu, his teeth were all broken, his face was swollen like a pig, and many bones in his body were broken. He crawled on the ground like a dead dog, trembling and convulsing. His mouth kept spitting out blood bubbles. Xiao Han stepped on Han Shuitang's face with his right foot, constantly grinding and humiliating him. With your cultivation, how dare you ignore eldest senior brother's dignity in front of him? Do you think that you can compete with eldest senior brother just because you've cultivated to 100 years old? What an idiot. Forget it, I'll teach you a lesson today. Be a reserved person in the future. We're from the same sect and I can be merciful when we're sparring. But outside with your character, you've already been killed many times. It's fine if you don't participate in today's hex trial, lest you embarrass our pure rain sect. With that, Xiao Han strode off the stage. The spectators below the arena saw that Xiao Han was clean and spotless, and did not look like he had just fought a fierce battle. Everyone could see that Han Shuitang's ultimate skill, the 1,000 miles yellow sand technique, did not even hurt a hair on Xiao Han's body. The disparity in strength between the two was too great. This Xiao Han, how could he be so powerful? He's completely not on the same level as an ordinary true Qi realm cultivator. Yes, just like eldest senior brother, second senior brother, and third senior brother. This should be the peerless beauty that will become a hex hero. A genius. No wonder he's protected and appreciated by the sect master. I originally thought that people at Han Shuitang's level were already considered geniuses, but it seems that we're too short-sighted. After defeating Ziyu and Han Shuitang consecutively, many of the core disciples looked at Xiao Han with awe and respect. This was a world where strength mattered the most. Those who were strong were the masters, and combat strength was far more convincing than age and experience. This battle had also thoroughly established Xiao Han's prestige in the Pure Rain sect. Huo Wu's gaze towards Xiao Han was incomparably fiery, and her beautiful eyes seemed to be brewing something. Junior brother Xiao Han. She walked over and called out to Xiao Han with her almond-shaped eyes. Junior brother Xiao Han's martial prowess is unparalleled. I'm ashamed. I just had some luck. Xiao Han gave a perfunctory reply and walked over to Xiao Mingchu's side. Huo Wu paused and looked at Xiao Han's back in disappointment, but the curiosity and fiery passion in her eyes became more and more intense. Eldest senior brother Dongfang, senior brother Fang, I've beaten up these two. I wonder if the sect master will punish me? Xiao Han was still slightly nervous. It's nothing. Xiao Han, you're much stronger than them. Teach them a lesson and kill their reputation so that they won't be arrogant and go astray. The sect master will also be very pleased. Fang Ling revealed a rare smile. You've shown mercy and didn't kill them. You've done a good job. Junior brother Xiao Han, you've built up your reputation among the true disciples of the Pure Rain sect. You're now ranked 4th among the true disciples. But you're still very young. Junior brother Fang Ling and I will definitely be surpassed by you in the future. Dongfang Qin laughed. There was no jealousy in his tone. Instead, he was very pleased. This was bearing. It will take a long time for me to catch up with senior brother Dongfang and senior brother Fang. Xiao Han quickly said. Junior brother Xiao Han, if you don't become the evil hero, it will indeed take a long time to catch up with junior brother Dongfang and junior brother Fang. But everything will be different after you become the evil hero. A new world will open up to you, and endless brilliance and luck are waiting for you to explore. Xiao Mingchu said seriously. In short, the evil hero is on a different platform from ordinary martial artists in the true energy realm. Whether you can make rapid progress depends on whether junior brother Xiao Han can become the evil hero this time. Well, Xiao Han, don't you have to go to the outer sect to find your brothers? You go. This time you help me vent my disgust. Don't worry, I will repay you. Xiao Mingchu patted Xiao Han's shoulder. Yes, 3 senior brothers. I will go find senior brother Acho to catch up. Xiao Han bowed slightly, said goodbye to the senior brothers, and went straight to the outer sect mountain peak area. Xiao Han cast out a true energy light and flew in the air. Soon he left the true inheritance mountain peak, crossed the inner sect mountain range and saw the outer sect 10 peaks from afar. Xiao Han felt a sense of familiarity in his heart. And there was a feeling that it was a lifetime ago. The outer sect mountain peak where Xiao Han was previously. Peak. White Jade Square. The 3 masters were chatting. Our peak, since Xiao Han reached the true energy realm, rose in status and became the top of the outer sect 10 peaks. Because of this, the 3 of us received some rewards. The sect master even personally rewarded us with some medicinal pills to extend our lifespan. All of this is Xiao Han's credit. Yes, we have been mediocre all our lives, but at least we discovered a genius like Xiao Han. It is enough to be gratifying. But I heard that Xiao Han committed a crime and is wanted by the entire country. I wonder if he is still alive. Sigh. I hope Xiao Han can turn misfortune into fortune and turn misfortune into fortune. This young genius should not die prematurely. Maybe he will become the new generation of evil hero of our Pure Rain sect. At this moment, there is a true energy wave coming? Which true inheritance disciple is coming? The three masters were shocked and looked up at the same time. Among the clouds there was a flash of light and a white cloud split into two. A young man stepped on true energy and flew in the air. His clothes fluttered, and he looked indescribably cool and calm. It's Xiao Han. Heavens, it's Xiao Han. The three masters screamed at the same time, and their voices were almost choked. Quick! Gather all the outer sect disciples of our peak. Come and see Xiao Han. Quick! Chapter 132. Xiao Han landed on the white jade square on the peak. He was smiling. Xiao Han used to come to this white jade square frequently in the past, but at that time he was an outer sect disciple. Now he was a true disciple and had reached the Jinchi realm. He had reached the heavens in a single step, and his level of existence had already completely surpassed the outer and inner sect disciples. Seeing the outer sect peak, which they had not seen in a long time, the three stewards felt a warmth in their hearts. They quickly walked over and smiled. Haha, three chiefs, disciple Xiao Han is back. So, Xiao Han. The three chiefs were very excited to see Xiao Han again, but they were also hesitant and nervous, even filled with fear. There was no other reason. Xiao Han was now in the true Qi realm, and they were only in the physical body realm. Xiao Han was a true disciple and they were the outer sect chiefs. The difference in status was like the difference between heaven and earth. Logically speaking, the outer and inner sect disciples and chiefs should greet the true disciple after seeing him. Xiao Han observed his expression and immediately smiled. You don't have to be so polite. Then Xiao Han activated the tortoise breathing technique and sealed the power of his acupoints and flesh, making him look like an ordinary martial artist in the physical body realm. The three directors abruptly sensed that the pressure from Xiao Han's true Qi realm had disappeared without a trace, and they felt a little more at ease. But they still treated Xiao Han with caution. Xiao Han, how have you been? I heard that you are wanted by the whole country and are being hunted. One of the chiefs asked carefully. Yes, but it is all thanks to you, eldest senior brother, who helped me out. Xiao Han grinned. Xiao Han, this time, you are going to represent the Pure Cloud sect to participate in the Hex Hero trial, right? Another chief couldn't help but ask. Yes. The Southern Mountain Range qualifiers are about to begin. It won't be long until then. In a few days, I will go to the Blazing Sun Empire with the sect master and fight with the beauties of the southern region. I will fight for one of the 300 spots in the main competition. Xiao Han did not put on any airs and answered every question. After a few words, everyone started chatting. The three masters were no longer as reserved as they were at the beginning. Soon, the outer disciples of the mountain swarmed into the White Jade Plaza at the top of the mountain. When they saw Xiao Han, they all bowed their heads and paid their respects. His eyes were filled with admiration and respect. Some of the female disciples admired Xiao Han very much. In front of Xiao Han, they were so nervous that their faces turned red, and they spoke incoherently. Her heart thumped wildly. Clean up the banquet. Quickly prepare the banquet. Today, let's go out together with the genius of our peak, Xiao Han, and drink till we're drunk. On the one hand, we welcome Xiao Han, and on the other hand, we wish Xiao Han will stand out in this year's Hex contest and become a Hex hero. The three managers hurriedly prepared the banquet. Senior brother Acho. Xiao Han saw Acho quickly walking up the mountain and immediately rushed over. He gave Acho a bear hug. Senior brother Acho, I haven't seen you for 2 years. Senior brother Acho, you're starting to change blood? TSK. That's great. There's a chance to break through to the Jinchi realm. Xiao Han realized that in these 2 years, Acho had changed a lot. His improvement was huge, from the marrow refining realm to the blood transformation realm. Xiao Han. You brat. Acho and Xiao Han's reunion this time felt the same as before. There was a strong sense of friendship between the two of them and there was no barrier at all. This caused Acho's original worries to vanish. He was overjoyed and patted Xiao Han's shoulder. Xiao Han, you haven't changed. You didn't become arrogant just because you broke through to the Jinchi realm. I just feel that you're still as easy to get along with as before. That's great. Alright, Xiaohan, because of you, the 3 managers and even many inner sect elders took good care of me. Every month, they gave me a large amount of resources and precious medicine, allowing me to cultivate without worries. Now, I don't want to go back to the clan. I want to try and see if I can break through to the Jinchi realm. Ah Chao's mental state had also changed a little, and he wasn't as weak as before. Gradually he had some ideas and pursuits. Or maybe he was influenced by Xiaohan. Alright. Senior brother Acho, cultivate well. When your cultivation reaches the peak of the blood transformation realm, I'll try and see if I can help you break through the barrier and break through the eternal chasm between heaven and man. Xiaohan said seriously. Senior brother Acho, this time I'm going to participate in the Devil Hero selection competition. If I can become a Devil Hero, I can explore many mysterious worlds. Maybe I can find some precious medicine that can help a blood transformation realm martial artist transform and ascend to the Jinchi realm. At that time, I will help senior brother Acho obtain the precious medicine no matter what. Ah Chao's face, which was full of red spots, shone brightly and said with a trembling voice. Brother, you said there's such a precious medicine? That's really heaven and earth's fortune. Senior brother Acho, this world is very big. There are some places that only devil heroes can set foot in. Maybe there's such a precious medicine? Also, senior brother Acho, I will think of a way to cure your face in the future. Xiaohan said seriously. Thank you, brother. Acho suddenly shed tears. I didn't think that I, Acho, who has been mediocre all my life, would be fortunate enough to meet such a powerful brother. Jinchi realm. If I can reach the Jinchi realm, I'll be willing to die. Soon, a banquet was set up on the mountain peak. Fine wine and delicacies were piled up like a mountain. Xiaohan entered the banquet and sat at the same table with the 3 principals, Acho, and a few core outer sect disciples. They drank and chatted merrily. They only rested at night. That night, Xiaohan stayed in the courtyard where he used to be an outer sect disciple. For a period of time, Xiaohan also stayed in the courtyard of the outer sect. He would look for Acho every day and give pointers to Acho's cultivation. A month's time passed just like that. In this month, Xiaohan was extremely relaxed and basically didn't cultivate. One had to know that with Xiaohan's current state, if he immersed himself in cultivation, he would no longer be able to achieve a breakthrough in transformation and improvement. He had to experience battles that hovered between life and death to sharpen his spirit or go on an adventure to obtain a heaven-defying fortuitous encounter. Only in this way could he improve by leaps and bounds. But in this month, Xiaohan didn't have no gains. His spirit obtained sufficient rest, and his entire spirit level seemed to have some sublimation. His temperament was closer to the natural heavenly Tao. One day after a month, junior brother Xiaohan, quickly go to the Great Hall. Xiao Mingchu's voice reverberated in the outer sect mountains. Alright. I'm finally going to the Blazing Sun Empire to participate in the Southern Region qualifier. This year's Devil Hero selection has officially begun. Xiaohan's spirit was lifted, and he immediately bid farewell to Acho and the 3 principals. Riding on a rainbow. Directly ascending the Great Hall and stepping into the Great Hall. Xiaohan. You will definitely become a Devil Hero. Acho stood on the white jade square at the peak and waved at the white clouds in the sky. The 3 managers also prayed silently. The immortals have pity on Xiaohan. I hope that he can overcome all the obstacles in this year's Devil Hero selection competition, which is said to be the cruelest in history, and become the Devil Hero that is admired by millions of people. He must not die prematurely. Great Hall. The Great Hall was filled with a faint solemn atmosphere. At this time, the Great Hall was filled with a faint solemn atmosphere. Xiaohan strode into the Great Hall. He saw the sect master sitting high on a wooden chair. Below him stood a group of true disciples. Xiao Mingchu, Dongfang Qin, Fang Ling, the 3 devil heroes of the Great Hall, were the first to bear the brunt. In addition, there were dozens of true disciples. Xiaohan had seen some of them before and some he had never seen before. Senior brother Xiaohan. At this time, a beautiful young woman bowed to Xiaohan respectfully. This young woman was one of the half-step true Qi cultivators who followed Xiaohan to the Sunset Mountains. Under the pressure of the golden-armored devil's murderous aura. In the end, she seized the opportunity and ascended to the true Qi realm. Other than this young woman, there were 2 other half-step true Qi cultivators who were also there. They ascended to the true Qi realm in 1 step. At this time the 3 of them bowed to Xiaohan. They were forever grateful to Xiaohan. If not for Xiaohan's reminder. They would have died in the hands of the golden-armored devil, and would not have achieved what they have today. Oh, the three of you? Xiao Han smiled. I haven't seen you guys for the past few days. Senior brother Xiao Han. The three of us have only reached the true Qi realm for less than 2 years, and our foundations are not stable yet, so we went down the mountain to train and only returned to the sect yesterday. I heard that senior brother Xiao Han is going to participate in the Devil Hero trial. I wish senior brother Xiao Han good luck and become the 5th Devil Hero of our Pure Cloud sect. The young woman said sincerely. Thank you for your kind words. Xiao Han nodded and stood properly. Junior brother Xiao Han, you're here. Huolan, with her bright eyes and white teeth, stood in front of Xiao Han and smiled charmingly at him, her eyes overflowing with tenderness. Senior sister Hua, hello. Han Shuetang didn't come? Xiao Han looked around and did not see Han Shuetang, who had been beaten up by him. Xiao Han. The sect master said. Han Shuetang won't be going to the southern region this time to participate in the trial. Xiao Han, you've beaten him up badly enough. You've even left a shadow of defeat and a flaw in his heart. If he doesn't recover in 3 years, he will be crippled. Xiao Han, what you've done is to destroy a beauty of our Pure Cloud sect. Xiao Han observed the sect master's expression and noticed that although the sect master was reprimanding the sect master, he did not seem angry at all. He still had that tranquil expression as if nothing was bothering him. Xiao Han smiled awkwardly. Hee, sect master, I didn't mean any harm. It was just a normal spar. I was just a little too heavy. I have to punish you for this. The sect master smiled. You must pass the trial this time and obtain a place in the main competition. And you must survive in the main competition. Hearing this, the true disciples all smiled. It was obvious that the sect master was very protective of Xiao Han. Yes, disciple accepts the punishment. Xiao Han smiled. Alright, let's go. This time, I will personally bring you to the sunset mountain of the Blazing Sun Empire. The sect master stood up. Xiao Han, Huolan. The sect master said loudly. Yes, disciple. Xiao Han and Huolan walked out. The two of you are the most outstanding true disciples of our Pure Cloud sect under the age of 30. You have the qualifications to compete in the trial of the Devil Hero. In the past 100 years, our Pure Cloud sect's young talents have withered, unlike the other sects in the southern region that have seen a surge of talents. But it doesn't matter. The world changes. Back in the day, our Pure Cloud sect also had its heyday with many talents. Perhaps this is a natural phenomenon. The sect master said seriously, which was rare for him. Although only the two of you are representing Pure Cloud sect, you must remember to not lose to the other sects and the Empire's royal family in terms of momentum. This time, I wish that the two of you will be able to obtain a place in the main competition as you wish. Yes. Xiao Han and Huolan said loudly. The other true disciples will also go to watch the trial and cheer for our sects Xiao Han and Huolan. The sect master looked at Xiao Mingqiu and the others. Yes, sect master. Sect master. The group of true disciples replied loudly. Sect master, don't worry. Although our Pure Cloud sect has fewer people, our momentum is not weak. Junior brother Xiao Han's combat strength is outstanding. You will definitely beat the crap out of those young geniuses from the other sects. Junior brother Xiao Han, I'll say one more thing here. Once you're in the arena, you must be ruthless. You must not be soft-hearted. Do you understand? Let's show them how vicious the disciples of our Pure Cloud sect are. Ah! Xiao Mingqiu laughed loudly. The true disciples also laughed when they heard their eldest senior brother's words. Don't worry, eldest senior brother. I know what I'm doing. Xiao Han licked his lips. He discovered that his life had already climbed to an intense peak at this moment. Alright, enough nonsense. Let's go. The sect master strode out of the Pure Cloud sect hall. The true disciples crowded around Xiao Han and Huolan and surged out. Let's go. The sect master smiled faintly. Suddenly he grabbed with his right hand. Dozens of white clouds in the sky were pulled down. He strolled leisurely and stepped onto one of the white clouds. The other true disciples followed suit and jumped onto the white clouds. Whoosh, 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 dozens of white clouds floated out of the Pure Cloud mountain range and toward the proud Sun Empire. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.